It's time. Finally, a show for you. A once-a-week extravaganza, giving you the weekend's movies, the week's cons and entertainment events, what is worth watching on television for the week, the weekly comic book, novel, game, and collectible releases, as well as entertainment news and information. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture. It's Pop Culture Kaboom with your host, Jimmy Jones.
And co-host Rob Knoll.
Hello,
world, and welcome to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Rob Knoll, previously mentioned co-host, is behind the big board and here to take your calls. And I am your not-so-humble host of all things Pop Culture Kaboom, Jimmy Jones. Tonight, we will give you everything you want, everything you need from pop culture entertainment with the latest news, information from the past week, and a sneak peek at releases coming out in the very near future. Also, I have a huge announcement that I'll be making in a relatively couple of minutes here regarding a big event that will be taking place.
It's enormous.
Yes. As well as huge. So, Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show is also your place on the radio dial for you to talk about your favorite fandoms. So go ahead and share with us what you like. Believe it or not, we are very, how shall we say, diverse with our knowledge.
Yeah.
Or how I like to say, my knowledge of pop culture entertainment is very wide.
Yes.
But very shallow. It's a mile wide. And
my brain can only hold like the recent stuff and then some old stuff.
Really? my brain holds old stuff, just not in chronological order, nor is it well defined. I can go, do you remember that time when blah blah did blah blah, but I can't remember exactly when blah blah happened. So there you are.
So it's the dates that elude you.
Exactly. And the dates and issue numbers and stuff like that. So
no, definitely with comic books it's like
I
know it was in the hundreds.
I don't know what kind of Rain Man you have to be to remember exactly what issue number anything happens in. I mean, I know that Gambit. I remember Gambit's first appearance in X-Men. I could not tell you what issue that was to save my life, even though I own it. But there you are. Unless it was issue number 1, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I rely on those articles that tell me, okay, go to these ones. It's like, okay, good. I don't have to hunt down which ones are relevant to this storyline.
Yeah, that's always awful. Tonight we'll be joined by Tony Sanfilippo, Filippo's Horrible Reviews. He will be here to talk about the upcoming movie releases. Our special guest tonight will be the writer, creator, and owner of Tenebris Anima Comics, Nathan Johns. We'll be talking with Nathan Johns about all things Tenebris Anima Comics, their flagship title, Godslayers, what the future holds for Tenebris Anima Comics, the Godslayers IP, and how you can get your hands on the current issues of Godslayers, both issues number 1 and 2, and they're local to the Reno area. So if you're in the listening broadcast area, then feel free to check them out on the Facebook at Tenebris Anima Comics. To add your thoughts, comments, talk about your favorite fandoms and talk to tonight's guest, you can call 775-515-4141. If you're, however, too shy for the phones, you can send a DM to us through the Pop Culture Kaboom Facebook page, which I will read and answer on the air. But if you don't want to comment during the show, but would still like to comment, I mean, if you're driving or something, I wouldn't want you to pick up your phone and start texting or call. That would be illegal for starters here in the state of Nevada. But other than that...
Unless you do it by voice.
That's true. But I don't do voice on my phone.
I do.
Oh, okay. You can reach us 24/7 by sending an email with your question, comments, or concerns. You can send that email to popculturekaboom@gmail.com. But you have to follow these simple but very important instructions. In the subject line, put question, comment, concern, or my fandom. In the body of the email, please add your first name. No last name is necessary. And I do not read email addresses on the air, so you have to put in a name. And don't try and pull a Bart Simpsons on me and put something in there that I won't be able to say on the air. Yeah. Also include the city and state or the city and country that you live in. Then fire away with what's on your mind. Bear in mind, emails are read on the air, unless you specify for them not to be, or you can't follow those simple instructions. So we got an email today.
All right, cool.
From John in Reno, Nevada.
Hello, John.
I don't know if you'll be saying that by the time I get done reading it. He writes, and he puts in comments, by the way.
Okay.
Here goes the M she you again. M/she/you. Gender swapping the Silver Surfer to a female, and for what? Why can't they just stick to what is out there and not create something completely out of the name of DEI? I have no reason to watch anything M she you. I want them to stop making characters up and use what is already there. Sick of this, and there is nothing you can say that doesn't sound like you're towing the company line. Okay. Well, then I guess you didn't want a response, John. I guess you just wanted to vent your frustrations, I guess. But I'm going to comment anyway. Shella Ball, who is what the character is going to be the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie,
Right.
coming out in, I think it's 2025 or 2026. I can't remember exactly which year. But Shella Ball did first appear in Silver Surfer #1, which came out in 1968, as the immortal Empress of Zenala and lover to Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer, who becomes the Herald of Galactus in exchange for his planet being spared, separating the lovers for eternity. Why it separated them for eternity, I have no idea. I was never a Silver Surfer fan. The thought of somebody tooling around the galaxy on a surfboard never interested me, so I was never a Silver Surfer fan. I liked Galactus, though. I always thought Galactus was a good character, but I digress. So, here's a little bit more information for you, John. Also in the Parallel Universe comic book Earth X, Franklin Richards as the new Galactus bestowed on Shella Ball the same powers as Silver Surfer, enabling her to be with the Silver Surfer as the second Silver Surfer. This was short-lived, though, because she died in a battle against the Celestials, so her actual run as a Silver Surfer was about the length of 2 issues. So it sounds like a variation of the Earth X version of Shella Ball's Silver Surfer form will appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to film the Fantastic Four. So, to me, this raises an interesting question. Will Galactus, the Fantastic Four, and the Silver Surfer be from an Earth X alternate universe, playing into the Multiversal War storyline and the upcoming Avengers Kane Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars? I think it would be very interesting, especially if they had an actual appearance of the actual Silver Surfer at the end in like an end credit scene or something like that. Your thoughts on that so far?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, I know, like, I'm actually, because, like, I'm sure that I could have sworn that she showed up again. And I was right. Like, she did. In 1999's Earth X, they introduced her again. So, it's not the first time. It's actually, and they didn't recreate this character. Her name is Shella Bell, and that was the character in the comic.
So, by the way, thank you, Robert, at Dreamwell Comics. In regards to this, I kind of played into my monologue at the beginning of the show. I can't remember issues. And Fantastic Four #5 is actually with the issue where it showed Johnny Storm was reading the Incredible Hulk comic book. Yes. So that is where, and what? I hope he's drinking a cup of coffee. It looks like the thing's sipping some tea like he's from Britain or something.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
So, but anyway.
He always tried to be a little bit more, like, graceful, though, you know, like, because he was so, like, bull in China shop, you know?
Yeah. Which plays out in the next scene here when Johnny Storm tried to heat up his drink.
There you go.
What is he? Let me warm that up for you. But it doesn't say what he was drinking. I want to know. Inquiry minds. But anyway, so it was kind of interesting that the thing, or Johnny Storm was reading a Incredible Hulk comic book when they're supposed to be in a shared universe. And later on they were, because the thing actually was later on, I think in that issue or something like that, Ross hired the Fantastic Four to fight the Incredible Hulk. So all kind of interesting stuff. So anyway, I'm not in the writer's room or Kevin Feige's office, and I am thinking, John, that neither are you. So without any true inside information, I'm on defense about this. I will admit my initial knee-jerk reaction was disdain. I've never been a Silver Surfer fan, but yeah, this is disrespecting the origins of the character for the sake of inclusion. Kind of like, and if you think I'm out of line with my way of thinking or kind of being disingenuous about it, no, I have the same feeling about the Crow movie, the new one. and how that's kind of disrespectful to the legacy and history of Brandon Lee. So I am not faltering from my line of thinking at all with any of this, which is never a good thing when you go and you change characters like that for no apparent reason. I've always been of the mindset, if you want a character to be a certain thing, make it. Don't destroy a popular creation for the sake of inclusion.
But I think it is, because the Fantastic Four, I don't believe, is going to be set in our universe. It's going to be set in an alternate universe.
Which would be interesting.
Which is where Shia LaBeouf is
the
Silver Surfer in an alternate universe. So if we have that, it leads all to that. Like, okay, there's more proof that we're going to be set in an alternate universe.
But we won't know anything until they actually come out with a trailer.
No, but
or the movie.
No, but so far the skylines that they've shown are not 1960s Earth skylines.
Or New York, where the Fantastic Four were based.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So
fair enough. But, you know, I'm going to be on the fence on this whole thing about, you know, with any movie that comes out until I see a trailer. I've mentioned that many times on the show before. You know, if someone starts complaining about something, I'm not going to comment until I see a trailer, because you can speculate all you want and theorize all you want and gripe all you want. But until you actually see what's going on. And
they're not done casting. Who knows if they're going to cast a male Silver Surfer to be her twin Silver Surfer.
Or the Silver Surfer from, say, the MCU universe where everything's supposedly taking place.
I mean, we don't know how it's tying in because of course, the multiverse, and they're trying to get that all back and settled. So, you know what I mean? So we don't know exactly what's happening. What did Loki do? You know, like...
It's not what would Jesus do, it's what did Loki do. Okay.
Well, you saw the second season of Loki. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually was kind of interesting, you know. And they plan on Loki and Thor reuniting at some point, too, in the near future. Probably in the new Thor movie that was announced. So that'll be interesting to see, too.
Right.
Also, among the other things that were announced this week were also a new Spider-Man trilogy that'll have Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. Now that they got the Venom symbiote in the MCU, thanks to the end credit scene in the last Spider-Man movie, then it'll be interesting to see if Venom is any part of it. And considering Tom Hardy said that Venom: The Last Dance, which is going into production, will be the last time he is doing a Venom. So, and that'll kind of free up the whole Venom character to be in the MCU and played by somebody else. So it'll be interesting to see all of that, and also the fallout from the last Spider-Man movie as well. So anyway, the thing is that, you know, I know you're upset about the announcement, but wait till you see how it all plays out first, John, before you get too crazy. And with that being said, May 4th is Free Comic Book Day, and Dreamwell Comics, the only Northern Nevada participant, will be celebrating Free Comic Book Day not one, but with a 2-day extravaganza, Saturday, May 4th and Sunday, May 5th, with all of the Free Comic Book Day goodies, other celebratory knickknacks like raffles, and of course, Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show will be part of the festivities again this year. I will be at Dreamwell Comics from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, May 4th. And since Free Comic Book Day does fall on May the 4th be with you, also known as Star Wars Day, anyone who is at Dreamwell Comics while I am there, dressed in their best Star Wars cosplay, will get a special gift. I will also be there Sunday, May 5th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And on May 5th is now going to be referred to as Revenge of the Sith in my mind instead of the 6th. But if you show up dressed in your most best Star Wars cosplay, but on the dark side, then I will have special gifts for you as well. And during the broadcast, a special in-store broadcast of Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show at Dreamwell Comics from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. Rob and I will be there doing the live broadcast. Our special guest will be Brad L. Johnson, and he is the organizer for the Lake Tahoe Comic-Con. Yeah. And he will be our special guest, and he will be talking with him about everything that's going to be going on at the Lake Tahoe Comic-Con 2-day event, which is August 14th and 15th. Nope, September 15th, 14th, and 15th. Yeah. Up in Lake Tahoe, California. Yep. Or is it?
Yeah, no, it's in the new event center up there.
Yeah, but is it on the?
I think it's south.
California?
I think it's South Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, but is it the
I
Nevada side?
honestly
or
don't know. I just have the address saved for for the
Okay.
day, so I can just hit navigate.
Okay. You could do like Rob did, or wait until next week when I have more information. But anyway, he'll be there talking with us, and whoever I deem has the best Star Wars cosplay from both the days, I will be giving away my version, or actually I personally own this, and I will be giving this away. It is the Power of the Force toy line from the Star Wars toys, the AT-AT. I'll be giving that away, and it's fully complete. The only thing is it's not in a box. It's still worth about $200 or more. Both driver and the commander are both come with it, and they are both still bagged. So it's a big, huge thing, and very expensive, and it could be yours if you come down while I am there Saturday, May 4th or Sunday, May 5th. So more, and here's a huge, huge, huge announcement. Just everything was practically finalized right before I went on the air, so I had to write all this in here. Deadpool and Wolverine opens Friday, July 26th. But how would you like to see a private screening of Deadpool and Wolverine? Well, thanks to 97 and Now Productions and Kaboom Con in association with Pop Culture Kaboom, you can join Rob and I for a special private screening of Deadpool and Wolverine Saturday, July 27th at the Carson Valley Cinema in Minden, Nevada. This will be a private screening before the theater opens, Saturday, July 27th at 10 a.m. There will be only about 100 tickets for this special screening at the Carson Valley Cinema, and you can get yourself a pair of tickets starting next Sunday, which is April 21st. Mm-hmm. Right here on Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. And if you can't get those tickets, I will be giving away about 40 of them, not all at once. It'll be spread out until we get up to July 27th anyway, or probably a week beforehand. And so then you can, but if you aren't able to get those tickets, because I know they're going to fly out of here, literally, like bats.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was a horrible sound effect, too, by the way. I am my own worst critic. Well, don't fret. The remaining tickets will be available. So approximately 60 tickets, day of only, for $5 a ticket.
Dang.
That is cheap. So yes, you heard right. $5 per person, cash only, the morning of Saturday, July 7th. Also, show up early, about I'd say probably about 9:30 a.m. We should have everything set up, because there will be special raffles and also a special cosplay contest with a huge grand prize prior to the showing of Deadpool and Wolverine. Final details will be released on the 97 and Now Productions and Kaboom Con's Facebook pages this Wednesday. So give them a like and a follow for all of the details for the private screening of Deadpool and Wolverine Saturday, July 27th at Carson Valley Cinema. And listen right here to the Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show for how you can get your own tickets for this very special private screening. By the way, some of the proceeds from this special screening will be going to Cold Nose Rescue and Sanctuary in Mount House and KNVC 95.1 FM Community Radio. So there you are. Go ahead and program that number into your phone for next week. It's 775-515-4141. And I'll let you know next week how we will be giving away those tickets, because that's when we will be starting. A pair of tickets at least 2 or 3 times per show every Sunday leading up to the screening.
Cool.
So, which means we'll be giving away a couple live, because we won't be able to take phone calls at Dreamwell Comics.
Yeah.
When we do our live broadcast, because we won't have phone access, so Tony won't be able to join us.
The store will be open still, right?
Yep.
Oh, so you show up.
Yep. Yep. A special live broadcast, so you can be a live studio audience. Well, how else am I going to be able to give away an AT-AT to somebody dressed in cosplay?
Well, no, I meant for the show.
That's what I mean. I'm going to give that away live on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood that part.
Oh, well, I'm glad I clarified. So, yeah, all kinds of good stuff going on. And also, there's now only 146 days left until Carson City, Nevada's first ever pop culture and comic book convention, Kaboom Con. 97 Now Productions will be putting on KaboomCon Saturday, September 7th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can follow KaboomCon on Facebook to keep up with details on all the vendors, sign up for the art contest, sign up for the cosplay contest, keep up on all the activity announcements and panels that will be taking place throughout the day, and special guest announcements for KaboomCon 2024. A limited number of pre-sale tickets are on sale through Eventbrite.com. A portion of the proceeds from KaboomCon will go to Cold Nose Rescue and Sanctuary in Mount House and KNVC 95.1 FM Community Radio. So all kinds of good stuff going on, and yeah, it'll be a fun event. Rob and I will be there.
Yep.
I'll be there running around with a video camera when I'm not doing other things as part of being the ambassador for KaboomCon. So yeah, it'll be all kinds of fun stuff. So
we're gonna get you a sash.
A sash that says ambassador. Wow. It's got to be one of those sashes then from Babylon 5. You know, it has to look like one of those.
Are you listening, Mark?
Probably not. So, but yeah, so all kinds of good stuff going on. I mean, we're going to be busy the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's spring. It starts the busy season.
True. You know, and, so all of the cons are making huge announcements making huge plans for their days. And I'll run down the list again, but we'll be having a number of people on from the various cons that are going to be going on up in Reno. A lot of them have moved to the Reno Sparks Convention Center this year, which is a huge deal, especially for some of the what were smaller cons, but now they've gotten huge. A lot of them, so a lot of business, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see.
It's a good sign.
It is. So I'm very happy with what's going on with around the area. Now just to get everybody out there to watch movies, which we're also doing our part for that too.
Yeah.
So stage productions are next.
All right.
You're like, okay.
That was my home.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was a theater kid in high school.
Yeah, I love the stage.
That was it. And I was in a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, I played Tom Snout, the hole in the wall.
Oh, okay.
And the big joke about it was, for some reason, somebody said we were better than cats.
Anything's better than cats. I've actually seen that live, and yeah, it was not the hype that everybody made it all. I mean, the movie, of course, was terrible, but the stage show, like, I was like, all right, this, you know, and I was just like, this is kind of very boring.
Woefully disappointed.
Yeah.
Wow. So sad. All right. So the big story this week in 2022, to publicize his new comic book series, The Ambassadors, Mark Millar tweeted, "It might take me a year or two to get ahead of my schedule, but I'm 100% going to do another Superman story at some point. I've had a notebook I've been doodling in for quite a while now." Following it up by saying, "The nice people who run DC contacted me last night about this tweet, and we're finally going to do this once everybody's schedule aligns a year or two down the line. Going to be big." Comic book fell for it hook, line, comicbook.com fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Then earlier this year, to publicize his big game series and his podcast, Marler Time, he told Jeff Johns regarding Netflix, "I'm under contract, so I have to do a certain amount of stuff, but I'm definitely going to get a little carve out at the next end of the next year." And I've talked with DC, going to get a little carve out of the end of next year. Talked to the DC guys. I'm going to do like a 6-issue thing, and wanted to get somebody great to draw it, like Oliver Coppel or Pepe Larraz. Then late last year, he appeared to be negotiating with DC in public, saying, "My suggestion is that if one of these companies swaps that 2% royalty for a 50-50 split with the creative team on all sales over, say, 60,000 copies, they will send a jolt of electricity through the industry and bring in most commercial freelancers in the biz again." Well, those negotiations may have hit the skids. Mark Millar has just tweeted, I'd been thinking about writing a Superman story last summer, but Superman goes public domain in 9 years, so I can write my stories in 5 years' time and pay the best artists in the industry to draw them, so it's all banked and ready for me to publish myself in 2033. And this is a topic Bleeding Cool touched on recently, and maybe Mark even read, which was followed up on a week or two later by Variety, Gizmodo, and more. In a decade, DC Comics will lose the copyright on these first issues of Action Comics, which establishes so much about the character. So yes, Mark Millar could absolutely publish Superman comics, though it would have to be under a different name. A DC Warner Brothers still owns the trademark, but two things worth noting. Everyone will be allowed to do Superman comics, games, TV shows, and movies. Then, so Millar won't be competing with DC, but with Marvel, Valiant, Todd McFarlane, Robert Kirkman, Viz Media, Webtoon, everyone doing Superman suddenly. What is the betting that Scholastic will have a Dogman versus Superman comic from Dave Pelkey? And secondly, is this Mark negotiating with DC Warners in public? Did they say no? Who knows? Has he hit an impasse and hoping that media reaction to this tweet will embrace DC to agree with what he wants financially? Is pointing out that you are happy to wait for public domain enough to make DC decide they might as well get some cash out of this than not. Will it work? Maybe. It is also probably worth noting that previous PR stunts from Mike Marlar included a faked Kick-Ass street video, a faked Obama reading superior photos, as well as the fiction that Eminem was to star in a movie version of Wanted. Yes, he has done all of these. These are all true. The tame journalists he used to get that story in momentum, his seemingly non-existent trip to Detroit for MPH, his faked Times Square's photos for Nemesis, his faked Starlight tattooed granny videos, or the way he got Reed Pop to buy 100,000 copies of the launch issue of the Magic Order at a heavy discount before later destroying them. So that he could claim it was the biggest selling creator-owned launch in decades. Oh. Wow. That's messed up.
Right?
So, public domain Superman? Sure, with Batman the year afterwards. But what is he really after? To be fair, I did love his Superman Adventures comic books back in the day. So that is the big story of the week. What do you think?
Sorry,
he did some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
To try and just get, a little traction. So I could see him just using all of this, to try and get DC to
agree.
Pay what he wants them to pay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, some people play hardball.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think DC does. So,
they're the publisher, and right now they need some good stories.
Right.
Quite honestly, I mean, Marvel's, or not Marvel, but Image Comics is faring very well, and and so is Dynamite, because Thundercats, Space Ghost,
right.
The Energon universe, they're all
they're tapping in on the nostalgia.
Well, that, and they're actually really well written stories. I mean, G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander comic book that they did, the current running with Transformers, Void Rivals. All this stuff is very well written. So if they weren't very well written, then
right.
I would say he doesn't have a point. But Mike Marlar is a very good writer. If you do partake in his stuff or would like to, I would recommend it. So that I think he should be able to afford what he's asking for, especially if he's going to be doing a 50-50 split with the creative team, and paying the artists who are the other half of any comic book company,
right.
comic book that's put out. Because you got basically 4 people involved with any comic book. You got the writer, the actual artist, the colorist, and
sometimes the
letterer.
Cover art.
The letterer.
Well, and sometimes the cover artist is different than the other artists.
Oh yeah,
too.
that's true too. So, and there's another expense, especially if they do variant covers.
Yeah,
Dynamite knows all about that.
Oh yeah,
there's 60 variant covers for whatever issue, just to try and get people to buy it.
Right.
But those are often made up for when they go and they do the in 25 or 1 in 500, variant covers.
Right.
To get the sales so that they can kick back to the actual artist who did it. So I wonder what Todd McFarlane's fee is.
Probably way more than we could afford.
Probably have to do like a 1 in 2,000 just to get a Todd McFarlane one. But anyway, I digress. With that music, it means it is the top of the hour break. And now's a good time. If you would like to get yourself a gift certificate for Dreamwell Comics, pick a number from 1 to 10.
7.
Caller number 7. You won't be put on the air, but if you're caller number 7, you will get yourself a gift certificate for Dreamwell Comics. 775-515-4141. Don't go anywhere, or if you'd like to comment on any of the stuff so far in the show, 775-515-4141. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Pop Culture Boom's radio show. Welcome back to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. So last week, Bleeding Cool broke the story that Scott Dunbar, special projects editor at IDW, was leaving the publisher. And they also confirmed he wasn't the new Batman editor. Just so you know. Art dealer turned EIC of Wildstorm Studios before it was bought by DC Comics. He pioneered the absolute oversized hardcover format at DC, which has now become the industry norm. At IDW, Scott Dunbar pioneered another new format, the Artist's Edition, replicating original artwork on the page as close as possible to the original. Also now an industry norm, though publishers often choose to license their publishing of such to him, and now it's a new chapter setting up his own comic book publisher. Scott Dunbar writes, "First, let me once again thank everyone for the incredible support I have received since announcing I would be leaving IDW Publishing after 16 years. It was a tough choice. In the past 29 years, I have had 2 jobs, first at Wildstorm Productions, later DC/Wildstorm, and then at IDW. I do not make changes like this lightly. A couple of things I would like to say. Leaving IDW was my decision alone. I will always have a soft spot for the company that has been my home for so long. I will miss most of my former co-workers a great deal. The work they do is outstanding, and I care enormously for them. But it was time to go. As of today, I am excited for the future. I have decided to do something that may be a bit crazy. I will be starting my own publishing company. I will not yet speak directly about my publishing plans or even divulge the name of the company. In the weeks to come, I will be filing paperwork to create it, and I will be periodically update via social media. My goal is to announce my first books, assuming things go as planned, at San Diego Comic-Con in July. More soon. All the best, Scott Dunbar, unemployed editor."
Unemployed editor.
Unemployed, should have put unemployed by choice editor.
I know, right?
So very interesting. And I heard also announced this week that Walt Simonson will be joining him at this new mystery company publisher. So he's got a big name already lined up for his comic books. So it'll be interesting to see what he's actually going to be doing.
Yeah.
So, more news as it comes. Maybe I'll reach out and see if I can get him on the show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. So a month ago, Bleeding Cool ran some X-Men gossip that seems to have been quite on the money, including Stephanie Phillips writing a new Phoenix series for Marvel Comics as part of their X-Men relaunch From the Ashes. As one of the most powerful heroes on Earth, Jean Grey's infinite potential sets her apart from even her fellow Omega-level mutants. This July, the From the Ashes era begins, but as the X-Men regroup across the globe, Xavier's first student will ascend to the cosmos to fulfill her divine destiny. Behold, the adventures of the universe's newest savior in Phoenix. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. A new ongoing Jean Grey solo series.
Okay.
During the final moments of Robert's gonna be yelling at the radio. Krakoa? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Currently being told in Rise of the Powers of X and X-Men Forever. So, okay, I didn't get a text. Him screaming at me. Being told in The Rise of the Powers of X and X-Men Forever, Jean Grey finds herself at the epicenter of creation and rebirth, known as the White Hot Room. What shocking metamorphosis occurs that leads to her adopting a new costume and taking to the stars as the Phoenix? And with her deadly reputation preceding her, will the galaxy kneel or cower before her greatness? The official write-up goes as follows. She is Jean Grey. She is Phoenix. She saved the world. She brings death. Okay, that's quite a spectrum there. One woman alone in space, but who not only must do what no one else can, she yearns to. A desperate SOS from Nova brings the Phoenix to the edge of a black hole where hundreds of lives hang in the balance. And whatever Jean does or fails to do will bring darkness to the universe and haunt her in ways she can scarcely imagine. Okay, that sounds cheesy. Just give her a surfboard. I'm just kidding.
Sounds like they're like, oh, we're going to do Dark Phoenix. No, never mind. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll just leave you guessing. But actually, the Phoenix persona or entity in and of itself was never actually a good thing.
No.
So there is no real Dark Phoenix. There is just Phoenix. So.
Right.
Anyway, so Marvel has announced the full details for X-Force #1 launching in July of 2024 as part of the X-Men from the Ashes relaunch. And it looks like this is the book previously referred to as an unannounced comic featuring Rachel Summer and Betsy Braddock, even though at the time X-Force had been announced. What? That makes no sense at all.
Okay. I thought that was just me. But okay.
Also with Forge, Sage, Surge, Tank, and rotating guests, beginning with Deadpool. Handy, as he'll have a new movie out. This time, this iconic comic book Super Squad will be built from the ground up by the mutant inventor Forge, accessing an omega-level degree of his unique and complex mutant power. To build anything, Forge will bear witness to everything broken in the world, but will he be able to fix it? I added that line.
Okay.
Anyway, luckily, he knows exactly who he'll need to repair it. Rachel Summers, Betty Braddock, Sage, Surge, and Tank, to save nothing short of existence itself. They'll jump sword, gun, and fist first into deadly uncertainty, and the only thing getting in their way will be the secrets they keep. Ooh. Oh, here's a new path forged.
Oh, okay.
Because it's forged.
This
is almost as bad
Terrible
as that
puns.
April Fool's thing that DC
No, that would
did.
at least made sense. It doesn't even, like, if you have to hunt for it, it's not working.
I know. The world is fractured. Forge uses his powers to devise the only fix in all different X-Force. Forge leads a custom-made and picked team of mutants in off-the-books missions so dire, so integral to the fate of the Marvel Universe, there's no time to stop for permission. What? Would you even ask?
There's no time to stop for permission.
I know. Plus, as Forge detects increasing threats across the planet, I thought it was Marvel Universe, and he's just talking planet now. He'll recruit specialists for each target. It's a revolving door of Marvel guest stars, and first up, that regenerating degenerate Deadpool. That's just corny beyond corny.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see how that actually plays out, especially now that there's with the Deadpool movie coming out. It'll be interesting if any of this plays out in that movie, because they're going to have all of the practically everybody who's ever played an X-Men in the movie, which will be interesting.
Well, it's supposed to be weirdly like connected to the Time Authority, and like he's taking out of time, and like they're even saying that like the that's why the Shadow, they're not showing which Wolverine, because we do know that Hugh Jackman's going to be in it, but there's supposed to be other Wolverines in it as well. So,
which makes me wonder if they're actually going to show the person who's going to be cast as Wolverine in the MCU in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it won't be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I never actually liked Hugh Jackman's
Wolverine.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I never liked it.
Oh.
He's too tall.
Okay.
and that's pretty much it. I mean, that was my only real gripe. Comic book accuracy to me matters. So he is a short, stocky guy.
Right. Yeah.
So
I thought he did very well though.
yeah, he did all right, I guess. Wolverine should have always been a rated R. Because
I believe Logan was.
yeah, and so all of them should have been that way though, just rated R, because there's no delicate way to slice people up with adamantium.
Do you want to
claws.
make movies to make money, or do you just want to make the movie? That's see. If you want it to make
just make the movie. It'll make money,
and that's the thing. If you want it to make the money, you got to make it PG-13.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason that the PG-13 was invented, is that they were not getting enough people to their R-rated movies.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
And so they wanted a way to tone it down, the R-rated movies, but draw in more people.
Or more kids, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, they just wanted to allow kids into their rated R movies. So.
Well, because if you look at I think it's Korea or China, it's 15 is considered an R-rated movie. And same thing with over in England, it's something like that too. It's 14 or.
Well, what the legal drinking age in Texas is 18, so.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't make it right for the rest of the country.
Where did you hear that?
I have no idea. I thought that's what somebody said it once, and so it's not based on any.
If there's a military base, then it's quite possibly true, because at military bases, that used to be. I don't know if that still is the rule, but you used to be able to drink on military base at 18.
I'm looking it up now. I got to know. Oh no, it's 21.
Yeah,
so
I thought it was a federal.
You could be right.
Because I know they raised cigarettes to 21 too.
Yeah, that too. So, oh well.
You got to be 21 to destroy your body.
But only 18 to vote.
Yeah, exactly.
So fans have spotted over the past few weeks, Coca-Cola is now being packaged in special Marvel cans.
Oh.
Yep. And on this past Monday, Coke and Marvel officially announced the scope of the partnership, which will result in a promotion across multiple platforms. According to Coke, that includes extensive television and social media advertising using a new comic book-themed commercial. Huh. Coca-Cola has a long history with Disney, and it's exciting to have a relationship that encourages and enables us to continue to push ourselves and our relationship to new heights creatively. Mm-hmm. Coca-Cola Global Creative Strategy boss Islam El-Deluski, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I more than likely did not. Global offered in a press release. This latest collaboration with Marvel allows us to tap into the legacy and affinity for both brands to deliver customers new and unexpected experiences. The new cans will feature a total of 38 Marvel superheroes between Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero sugar products. In addition, 33 heroes will be featured in 38 designs across the products. On Coke bottles and cans, fans will be able to find designs featuring Blade, Cable, Colossus, Daredevil, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Elektra, Juggernaut, Kingpin, Loki, Moon Knight, Wolverine, Deadpool, Nick Fury, Storm in the U.S. only, Super Skrull, and War Machine.
Storm in the U.S. only. That's funny.
Yep. And
she's a U.S. exclusive.
I'm kind of wondering, are these going to be MCU related, or are they just Marvel related?
I don't know.
Because if they do, because Negasonic Teenage Warhead,
I'm a little disappointed because Coca-Cola does have a really good relationship with Disney. They made the grenade Coca-Colas that you can buy in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, like the thermal detonators?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So where's our X-Men stylized, cans that we can buy and or plastic bottles? I'll take a Professor X wheelchair style.
That would actually be really cool.
Right?
I laugh now, but then my brain kicked in.
Right?
So on Coke Zero bottles and cans, Coke drinkers will find designs featuring Ant-Man, Black Panther, Black Widow, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Groot, Hulk, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Rocket, Scarlet Witch, Shang-Chi, Star-Lord, Thanos, and Thor. Each of the cans will include QR codes enabling an AR experience. As Coke officials call it, their fans will be able to complete, I think there's supposed to be an L in there, complete various prizes, including the Ultimate Fan Experience, Disney Cruise, Marvel movie screenings, collectible influencer boxes. Okay, I have no idea what that entails. Movie tickets, autographed memorabilia, Disney Plus subscriptions, and more. So, interesting. I would not mind some of those. Some of those I'd lean in like a little bit more detail because
I'll take a free cruise.
I just want a collectible influencer box. What's in it? Never mind. I don't want it. Don't send it. Save yourself the money of give it to somebody else. I change it. Give it to somebody who's more worthy. How about that? Because I don't want it. Yeah, but okay. So interesting promotion. I wonder if they're going to use the MCU.
I wonder how they decided which ones go on regular Coke and which ones go on Coke Zero.
Yeah, that must have been a coin toss. And yeah, among other things. But
because some of the more popular ones are on Coke Zero. Not
yeah,
Coca-Cola.
I wouldn't be drinking that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
but are you trying to collect the cans? I'm sure you can find somebody who'll drink that, or you'll just dump it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or not open it.
I think, though, if you're collecting the can, the collectability is keeping the soda actually in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ew. That sounds...
From what I understand.
Right.
I don't know.
But it can be interesting to see, like, the the Jogger or the Kingpin from the Daredevil series. The Daredevil series,
right.
Daredevil. I would hope to God they don't use the Juggernaut from the X-Men Last Stand, because he was just a horrible Juggernaut. You know what I mean?
No, they should use X-Men 97's Juggernaut.
Yeah, or something, but just not that Juggernaut ever. But anyway, the actor's probably going, "What was the matter with my Juggernaut?" Well, lots of things. But anyway. All right. So the Pokemon Company has announced the dates for its 2024 World Championships. Yay. Ooh. Which will take place in Honolulu, Hawaii. Dang. The event, which features tournaments for the Pokemon video games, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Unite, and Pokemon Go, and card game, will take place from August 16th through August 18th at the Hawaii Convention Center. While we've known the location for the event since last August, today's announcement marks the first time that players and spectators have had the dates available to start planning their trips. I would never plan a trip to Hawaii just to watch somebody play a game.
No, I think they said players, though, too.
And spectators. I wouldn't plan it.
It's part of the Pokemon Go. Isn't that the AR version?
Or is it that whole where you go around trying to find
that's
Pokemon?
The AR version. Yeah,
okay.
You go around and you find where you go to the gyms and whatever and battle.
Or the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, well, that's what they consider a gym. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Or what? I don't know what.
I got you.
Yeah,
no,
there's
okay.
like the different. I haven't played.
I thought you meant
ages.
like a real gym.
No. It's like, and I can't remember. Or there's the battle arena. There's two places. There's like a gym and a battle arena. So. One of them you build up your character, the other one you battle. I haven't played it in ages, so.
Wow. Okay.
But
interesting.
That'd be kind of like cool to be like, oh, I got invited to go to Hawaii to play Pokemon Go. I mean, like
that would be cool. But yeah, I would not I wouldn't pay to go there as a spectator, though.
No.
I would not do.
But if you happen to like be there on the dates and it was like going around, you'd be like, what the heck is going on here? Like,
why is that person going around behind that shrub?
Why is everybody glued to their phone?
Well, that's kind of society today.
No, but not all at once in like a giant group of people, you know.
Yeah. No, always interesting, funny stuff with that stuff. But anyway, while the Pokemon World Championships are primarily a competitive event meant for the best in various Pokemon games, it's also become an increasingly larger event with more entertainment for casual fans. The last 2 years' events have taken place in London and Yokohama, Japan. With the Japan event in particular featuring a plethora of side attractions that anyone could enjoy. The Yokohama event was extra-sized in part because it marked the first World Championships to take place in Japan, but it's expected that the events will continue to morph as the Pokemon brand continues to grow in size. For those interested in competing in the World Championships, players will need to perform well in various regional tournaments, such as the European International Championships that took place this weekend in London. The more placements a player earns, the more qualifying points they gain to secure a spot at the World Championships. Expect to hear more details about the Pokemon World Championships in the coming months. So there you go. If you're into it, make your plans now. August, what did they announce? August 15th through the 18th or something like that?
Oof, it's like prime time, like tourist season.
Yeah, August 16th through August 18th. So, and it's only a couple of that weekend too. So Xbox's next major digital showcase is apparently just a couple of months away, according to reporting from The Verge. The event will take place on June 9th and will feature new entries in the Gears of War and Call of Duty franchises. Additionally, release dates for several games will be announced at the show, including Avowed, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. As with any rumor, readers are advised to take this with a grain of salt. However, it's worth noting that the date would line up closely with last year's Xbox Games Showcase, which was held on Sunday, June 11th, 2023. The next entry in the Call of Duty series is rumored to be called Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, which is in development from Treyarch. According to reporting from Insider Gaming, the game will be unveiled prior to the Xbox Showcase in June in some kind of standalone event. That event will feature a deep dive into the game and could offer a glimpse at the campaign. Summer Game Fest is slated to take place on June 7th, and the Black Ops Gulf War Showcase is expected to take place at some point before that. Additionally, Insider Gaming claims that the Xbox Showcase in June could reveal plans to bring past Call of Duty games to Xbox Game Pass. Xbox closed on its purchase of Activision Blizzard last year, but has yet to bring any entries in the series to the subscription service. There are a lot of Call of Duty fans eager to see these older games come to the service, but we don't have any idea which titles will arrive or in what capacity. Hopefully things will be a lot clearer in June. The Xbox Showcase will be the perfect opportunity for the company to reassure worried fans. Over the last few months, there has been a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Xbox brand, as former Xbox exclusives have been announced for PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. On one hand, this has helped Xbox offset development costs and grow the user bases for online games like Sea of Thieves and Grounded, but it's also leading to concerns about the future of the brand. If all of Xbox's biggest games can be found on other platforms in the future, there's less incentive to own a Microsoft console. Mm-hmm. Well, there's always a double-edged sword with anything. In addition to platforms like YouTube and Twitch, last year's Xbox Summer Showcase appeared at a special Phantom event where fans could watch it in theaters. At this time, it's unclear if we'll see a similar treatment for this year's show, but it could be an exciting option for hardcore Xbox fans to go to your local theater. I know Galaxy Theater does a lot of stuff like that, so here in Carson City, that would more than likely be the place you would go to watch this Xbox thing. Of course, I can't imagine going there to watch anything like that, but
right,
some people get into it like a lot.
And hopefully it's free. I wouldn't pay to see that.
Well, somebody's got to pay for it. Yeah,
I mean, like, because you can watch it for free. Like,
maybe. I mean, if it's on, YouTube or Twitch,
it's always on YouTube.
True, but it might be a fee for that one too.
It hasn't been in the past, so I don't see them randomly charging now.
Yeah, never know. Let me see what's going on here with this. Hi, Eric. So,
hello, Eric. Happy birthday.
I told him, Eric, that was your birthday. Yep, there it is. Psychic. There it is from Robert over at Dreamo calling. OMG! Krakoa.
That's what you said. I'm sorry.
I thought I did too, but I guess I didn't. Okay, and Jim wants to, and Carson City wants to know, has the increase in the price of previous metals made Silver Surfer comics more valuable?
I guess only if they're printed in silver or gold.
Or platinum.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. And so she can't wait. Crystal and Topaz can't wait for the to get herself some tickets
Oh.
for Deadpool
Yep.
and Wolverine. So, yep. What do you, Eric? I wish.
I wish.
I don't know. I missed what.
I don't know.
Me too. Anyway, so, but I'm glad you're listening now. What is this about Silver? Oh, so it was an email from John in Reno, Nevada about the Silver Surfer being female in the new Fantastic Four movie, and he was kind of venting about it. So I gave him his soapbox. So, and then responded in kind. Not really. Not in kind. I wasn't griping about anything, but it was an interesting discussion on what may or may not be happening in the future with that, and how did I get tangled up in all these cords?
You weren't twirling around or anything, so
I know.
Idea.
All of a sudden, I'm like, why are my feet like magic lassoed here? Start telling the truth.
Don't get up.
Yeah, fall over. So the Xbox event, it'd be interesting. Hopefully they announce a lot of stuff. If everything's been finalized now with Activision and Blizzard, does that mean that World of Warcraft can make its way to Xbox gameplay? I mean, or Game Pass?
More than likely. I know that they have titles in mind that are coming, and then with that also they were planning on expanding their reach, because I already know like certain Xbox games are coming to like the PS platform and stuff like that, and Switch platform. So that was part of their agreement with the EU, was more accessibility to their games by buying Activision Blizzard. So
okay, well, fair enough. So good luck
we'll
to
see
them
how
on
it
that.
happens. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we got to take a hard break because we're at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
So when we do, we'll be right back. Currently, I don't know. It's I got breaking news coming on my thing here. So I'm telling you that currently it is 43 degrees in Carson City, and somebody won the 2024 Masters tournament.
Oh,
Ooh,
I know Tiger Woods made history by made the 24th cut of it. So.
Wow! Congratulations to him. So we'll be back when we get back. It'll be movie time with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show right after this. Hello, world, and welcome to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. And we got a big show lined up for you tonight. Our special guest tonight will be Nathan Johns. He is the creator and also the owner of Tenebris Anima Comics. He'll be on later this evening, but right now it is movie time with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. And each week, the Film Powers that be released dozens of movies, some of which you'll never hear about, except Each week's upcoming releases are carefully picked over from Rotten Tomatoes, and up to 5 films are selected from genres that I would watch. And those genres are action, adventure, horror, science fiction, anime, or fantasy, and that is pretty much it. With that in mind, we sit through some of the most hideous trailers ever made, and we'll read you the synopsis of each film, then give you our not-so-humble opinions. Bear in mind, we are not professional movie critics. We're just overly opinionated blowhards. But Mr. Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews is. You can catch all of Tony Sanfilippo's reviews of concerts, television shows, and movies at Filippo's Horrible Reviews. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, buddy. I'm a little tired. I have to be to work at 2 in the morning. That really sucks. But I'm excited to be on the show, though.
You got inventory or?
No. It's one of those last minute things where they're like, we're going to change the world, so we're coming in at 2.
Oh.
Yay.
So expect your Costco to look different tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a couple little rearrangings, a couple fence items, that kind of stuff, yeah.
Well,
like ours, all of a sudden the clothes were like right when you walk in. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is always funny at the
like
at the Carson City Costco, because every single year, I swear, every single year, they'll put the bathing suits right up front by the entrance door. during a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Which is like, are we part of the polar bear club? Who's going to be buying a bathing suit when it's snowing outside?
It's the way the season works, because like where I work too at Kohl's, in January is when we start getting all of our swimsuits. And when I say all, I mean like racks and racks, not just like, oh, here's 2 colors.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right.
Crazy amount.
Yeah. So here on the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show, we utilize a carefully crafted and patented movie rating system that goes as follows. If it is worth seeing in the theater at full price, it is a good, not a great. That is to be determined by you if you choose to see it in the theater. If it is worth watching in the theater as a matinee or in your town's cheap theater, it is a so-so. If it's worth seeing on a streaming service or as a rental or however you choose to watch a film while avoiding social interaction, it is a blah. And if it is deemed so awful you should wait for it to be on public television, it is considered a touch brown because FCC regulations say we can't use profanity. So we got 5 movies this week.
Yep.
And I might as well just go to the bottom of the list here and start with that and work our way up.
All right.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is correct. I mean, after the whole Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire.
It's if you listen to the trailer, they don't say the X.
Okay, so it is Spy Family Code White is the title of this one, even though there's a big X in there. But anyway, he's a spy. She's an assassin. Together, Lloyd and Yor keep their double lives to themselves while pretending to be the perfect family. However, their adopted daughter, Anya, a telepath, knows both of their exciting secrets, unbeknownst to them, while under the guise of taking his family on a weekend winter getaway, Lloyd's attempt to make progress in his current mission, Operation Strix, proves difficult when Anya mistakenly gets involved and triggers events that threaten world peace. Of course she does. Kids, you can't take them anywhere. So I guess this is an extremely popular anime series at the moment. It's only had 2 seasons and is already getting the movie treatment, so there's something to that. It's typical anime style. It goes from absolutely incredible animation to drawn by a 5-year-old in certain scenes. If you are intrigued, look up the show first. This movie does not look like a jumping on point in any way. I got way too much on my viewing plate, so I will be skipping this until I watch the series, in which time I'll also watch it on streaming as well. So I would actually give this one a blah, even though it's very quirky. And like I said, the kid, Anya, whenever she's in a scene, totally looks like it's drawn in like 1970. Where when the parents
see that.
where the parents are in it, it's totally like looks absolutely like, you know, the typical anime you would expect. But yeah, so I give it a blah. Tony, what say you?
The music reminded me of one of my favorite video games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like the whole just intro just reminded me of that, and just some of like the the cutscenes where she's like, it just reminds me of some of the characters in the game. So that was cool. Hey, the animation is great. This is definitely, I don't know the whole history of this show, but if you're a fan of it, obviously this is going to be for you. I just don't know. I don't know why I haven't sat down and done Japanimation movies. I'm really into X-Men 97. There's a lot of great animation in that. So I don't know. I just, unfortunately, since I know I'm never going to sit, I'm not going to bash it. It doesn't look bad. I just know personally I won't watch it, so let's just call it a colorful, bright touch brown, just because I won't see it. But it doesn't look bad, though.
It's a nice, bright, shiny.
I want to be nice to it. Like, and give it its props. It's just not for me.
It's polished.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Yeah, it's your typical anime movie. However, I just read like she's a telepath. Like, then how did she not know that what she swallowed was
Microfilm?
Yeah. So
why did it have to be told to her? Like some kind of weird exposition
exactly,
dump by the villain?
Exactly. And why would you put a microfilm in a piece of chocolate? I'm very like.
And who uses microfilm this day and age? I mean, come on.
It's just kind of one of those weird like. How did this scenario get set up? Like, I don't get it. But it's anime, so it probably has some other thing that I'm missing. But it does look good. It looks like your typical anime. I'll probably never end up watching it because I'm not a big anime fan. But I would give it a blah because if it does come across and I'm like, at home, I might end up turning it on.
All right, watch the 2 seasons first. That way, I'd be lost if I just stepped into this movie.
Get lost in anime after like episode 3. So
fair enough. Okay, Tony, what is next?
All right, boys, let's go to the coffee table. Jesus and Maria love each other endlessly, magnificently, even though they sometimes just don't notice. But hey, now that their little lump of love is born, everything's going to work out. Sure, Maria still has a bit of North Korean streak in handling the household, calling all the shots when it comes to the color of their apartment walls, the name of the baby, the food they eat, the TV shows they watch, the thickness of the toilet paper, and their holiday destination. Jesus, to prove to her and himself he ain't some spineless trilobite, but that he has a will of his own. He gets to pick the coffee table. Hallelujah! A hard-won victory that he's cherishing by picking out the most aggressively ugly little thing imaginable. The furniture equivalent of Liberace getting lost in IKEA. An unbreakable wonder, says the salesman. Overpriced, says Maria. It will bring boundless happiness to their lives, says the salesman. Their worst nightmare, says us. Dude, that's the worst synopsis I have ever read, ever heard. That makes me alone. That has nothing. That was nothing in the trailer. I'm just going to put this as one of the worst trailers and titles for a movie that we've watched. The Coffee Table is a foreign movie where the couple buys a coffee table that brings misery versus happiness. There's lots of subtitles. There's puking blood, puking white liquid stuff. But hey, I saw Big Bird and I saw a He-Man action figure. I guess that was cool. Not really. This looks awful. One of the all-time worst. Touch Brown.
Okay.
Garbage. Woof.
Well, there will be no shortage of movies at the Razzies this year. Nothing in 2024 tops the cinematic vomit inducer called The People's Joker, but this one's pretty close. The trailer thinks the movie should have been titled Bad Things Happen to People Over Happy Music, and in typical European style, I can't tell what is going on, or who, or in what order. I feel deader inside because of this. Thanks for nothing, and I give you a touch brown. Rob, what say you?
Yeah, thanks, because this is on my history now of watching things. So I have to clear my entire history in order to get rid of this monstrosity. What was this? I'm still confused as to what was happening going on. And then at the very end, after it all rolled, then they just show you them screwing in a screw. Like, what the freak? No, touch brown. Just,
okay.
Yeah.
I wish the coffee table came alive like the pair of jeans.
Right?
Yes.
Or did something.
I wish it grew some teeth and had googly eyes and chased the people
even if it
around.
just shook. Okay.
I don't know. It's a typical European coffee table, so if it shook, it had boobs, and that would not be. I don't know. That would not be a good thing. So, but yeah, that was horrible. All right. Up next, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Based upon recently declassified files of the British War Department and inspired by true events. Okay. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is an action comedy that tells the story of the first ever Special Forces organization formed during World War II by UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill and a small group of military officials, including author Ian Fleming. The top-secret combat unit composed of a motley crew, not Motley Crue the band, but a motley crew of rogues and mavericks, goes on a daring mission against the Nazis using entirely unconventional and utterly ungentlemanly fighting techniques. Ultimately, their audacious approach changed the course of the war and laid the foundation for the British SAS and modern Black Ops warfare. Okay, I don't know how based on a true story this is, but Guy Ritchie, the guy who did a lot of off-the-wall action thrillers like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., both Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies, Rock and Rolla, Snatch, and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, doesn't have historical films in his directorial toolbox. I can only imagine it is so loosely based on on the only historical part that it's World War II. Still, he does make some interesting, though off-the-wall and in a lot of ways movies. And no, his live-action version of Disney's Aladdin doesn't count. All in all, it might be interesting to watch, but not in a theater. I'm going to give it a blah. Tony, what say you?
What do you get when you add Superman, Reacher, and Wesley from Princess Bride? Well, you get Guy Ritchie's version of Inglourious Basterds. Cary Elwes is the Englishman recruiter. He gets a group together to take on the Nazis. It looks very cheeky, funny, action-packed, and, I do like some of the off-the-wall Guy Ritchie movies. They're not horrible. They're pretty entertaining. But I'm not going to go to the theater to see this either. I will follow you, Jimmy, and give it a blah.
Okay.
You forgot Snake Eyes in that mix.
Oh, right.
But yeah,
me.
Snake Eyes is in there too. I actually I've watched this trailer repeatedly. I think I've seen all the trailers available. I can't wait to see this movie. It looks great to me. It looks hilarious. The way that Henry Cavill is just enjoying shooting people is just hilarious to me. He has his tongue out and he's wide eyes. He's just so happy to be there. It's just I love it. So to me, I'm going to say good. I can't wait to see this.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one scene where the German guy's telling a joke to the other people in the room, and they're behind him. Yeah. And then he gets done telling the joke. He's like, that was a good one. And then he starts mowing him down. Yeah.
And then he had this other scene where he comes in mowing him down. And he has his tongue hanging out, and he's like, ah!
Or he's knocking on the glass, with a hatchet. Hey! Yeah. So, yeah.
I can't wait for Reacher's British accent, so.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tony, what is next?
Blood for Dust. Reckless Ricky makes serious money dealing illegal weapons throughout the tri-state area, and he loves to flaunt it. Traveling salesman Cliff covers the same territory Ricky runs guns through. Desperate to find some financial relief for a struggling family, Cliff agrees to partner with Ricky to commit cross-strait drug and gun deliveries for mid-level American cartel boss John. Wow, what a threatening name, John. When a simple exchange turns into a bloodbath after Ricky kills everyone in a territory grab, the pair find themselves in a pressure cooker situation where unlikely drug dealer Cliff must fight as hard as he can to stay alive. Who gives a rat? You know what? This movie looks kind of like The Mule that Clint Eastwood did, but with some Breaking Bad elements. Someone needs money to make a living for their family, so they turn to drugs, and surprise, it goes bad. People die, and your life is worse. Why the heck do I ever want to watch anything like this? Touch Brown.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
Idiots.
Reckless Ricky. No, he's not a...
Rickley.
Reckless Ricky is not a wrestler, and which would actually be a better movie. Well,
Reckless Rickley.
Yeah. Reckless Ricky. Oh, yeah. Well, isn't this a nifty little tale about criminals doing criminal things and killing each other? Just the kind of story and subject matter I don't care for. Touch Brown. Rob?
I knew you were going to like that one.
Oh, no,
this was the most boringest trailer I think I've seen in a long time. I actually hit the button to see how long the trailer was because I was like, how long is this thing? It was bad. And Kit Harington, okay, he's actually a pretty good actor. Josh Lucas, all right, But this, stinker.
How did they get sucked into this?
Yeah, no, yeah. Shoot the publicist or their publicist.
Yeah. So, or agent.
Agent. Yeah, Touch Brown.
Okay. First brown streak of the... Oh, no, actually, coffee table. So this is the second brown streak of the week. And which brings us to the 400-pound gorilla in the room this week, Abigail. But let's recap real quick. So, Blood for Dust, all Touch Browns. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Rob gave it a good. Tony and I gave it blahs. The Coffee Table, big brown streak. You won't be cleaning that off. Spy Family, Code White. Rob and I gave it blahs. Tony gave it a shiny touch brown. And now for Abigail. So after a group of would-be criminals kidnapped the 12-year-old ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, all they have to do is collect a $50 million ransom. To collect a $50 million ransom is watch the girl overnight in an isolated mansion. The captors start to dwindle one by one, and they discover, to their mounting horror, that they're locked inside with a no normal little girl. She's a vampire. I mean, you watch the trailer, you get that figured out real quick. All right. Well, I can tell you how this is going to play out just by the trailer. The little vampire girl is actually the one who arranged the whole kidnapping, supposedly in the first place, so that she could have dinner. Misguided hijinks ensure that we have a horror comedy, though I wonder if it was intended to be or not. The characters fumble around how to kill a vampire. At least they know of their existence, even if it's from film or in this film universe. The only question left for me is, what is going to be the plot twist? My bet is on the mother-daughter type relationship developing into the girl kidnapper who showed the little girl kindness is offered to become a vampire and live forever with the girl as her mother figure. I guess there's only one way to find out. Watch the movie. I just won't be doing that in a theater. I'm giving it a blah. Tony, what say you?
Oh, wow, man. This movie looks ridiculous. It's kind of like that movie Ready or Not, where you must survive the night, except this is a ballerina vampire girl. And I do like Catherine Newton, and Moff Gideon is the guy that kind of puts it together. This movie looks way more silly than scary. It does give away a lot in the trailer, pretty predictable. But I agree with you, Jimmy. I would watch this, but definitely from home. So I'll give it a blah.
Okay. Rob, what say you?
Yes, this is Universal's first foray into letting other people use their monsters. So that's why it's a vampire. And it has the Universal title. They're actually allowing their Universal monsters because they couldn't do their own MonsterVerse apparently. So they're letting others do it for them.
You mean a whole Tom Cruise mummy debacle?
Oh yeah, we won't even talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're letting others do it. I actually has been anticipating this for a while. This is one of those movies my wife, of course, was like, oh, we have to go see this. So I like it. I think it looks good. I think it looks hilarious. I think horror movies actually need to have some comedy in them, but they also need to have some good jump scares. This looks like it does have some mixture of both. So for me, it looks like it's going to be a win, but that's me. So I say good.
I'm good. Okay. I know you were talking last week that you had to get your tickets.
Yeah,
for it,
we were supposed to get them this week, and then my wife has to babysit my in-laws' dogs. So, and she has to go on the day we were going to go see it to like learn everything and how to do that because, yeah.
You have to learn things to take care of dogs?
One of the dogs gets a microwave. There's like 4 dogs. One of them gets a microwaved breakfast. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So
that dog gets a nuked meal.
Yeah, exactly. Only one, it's like crazy. I don't know how they even figured that all out.
Wow.
Do I want to be there? No. But so we're going the next weekend.
Well, if it was only a dog, then I would say, it's a service dog. Bring it with you.
Yeah, but there's more than one dog. So, and they're varying ages.
And apparently, they're all
varying appetites or tastes. I don't know.
Very weird. Bunch of socialite dogs there.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, elite. They're elite.
Very elite.
Entitled. They're entitled.
Very entitled. A microwave meal for Pete's sake.
Yeah,
right.
that was the first thing I said. I'm like, wait, how do they know one had to be? I'm like, no, I don't want to know how they figured out they had to microwave it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So those are the movies that are coming out the week of, drum roll please, April 15th through April 21st. Next week, April 22nd through the 28th, we'll be talking about, or the movies for April 22nd through April 28th, we'll be talking about Boy Kills World, Cinderella's Revenge, Cash Out, Breathe, and Humane. So
I wonder, is Cinderella's Revenge, is that going to be along the line of the Pooh-verse?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Still, it's not as good as the coffee table, but
no. That thing. I wish that thing would have come alive, like those jeans.
So a lot of interesting things. This week they released a CinemaCon happened. So there's a lot of movie news coming out. On top of that, they did release a trailer for the next Star Wars installment. It just kind of came out of nowhere. An animated show called Tales of the Empire. Did you get a chance to check out the trailer, Tony?
No, I didn't watch the trailer. I did read about it, though.
Okay, so what do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Because it's kind of weird because it's setting up weird things. Because it's about I can't remember her name. She was in
It's Elsbeth.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's so the first. This is the sequel to the first Tales of the Empire, which was about.
Okay, yeah, because they had that.
Yeah.
They had the animation,
Yeah,
right?
So the first one was Sokka and
Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
And
Makes her sound like
Ahsoka.
a fish.
I can't remember who else was the other one. And then so this one's supposed to be more of the dark side Empire, like a look at the dark side.
No, I'll definitely check it out. I mean, I haven't watched the other one, but
it's good.
you know.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
Well,
Unfortunately, it's sad. They show how she gets taken to the Jedi and kind of ripped from her family. And
Yeah, well, which character is that? Because I didn't recognize the character.
Elsbeth?
No, not that one. The other one. The one with the green one with the little tattoo things.
No, myself either. Yeah.
So I didn't know whom that was. So.
No, but I think that's the other person that they're introducing.
Ah.
Well, that should be good. I know there's a lot that came out. This is the first time. Has CinemaCon always been a thing? I don't recall this. This is kind of like what reminds me of what the video games E3 used to be, right? You used to just kind of jumpstart a bunch of what's coming out in the world of video games. But this time, you had a couple of different ones. Like I saw The Rock came out, introduced Moana 2. Kevin Feige talked about Deadpool Wolverine, and they had a good old time talking about that. So those ones were some of the ones I was familiar with. And Transformers 1's coming out, and they're going to do The Last Ronin, the R-rated Ninja Turtles, which I think is pretty cool. My buddy doesn't agree with me. He said that's stupid.
Oh, the R-rated one? Yeah.
Yeah, I said, well, that's a darker side of Ninja Turtles, which I did have to remind him that Ninja Turtles did start as a dark comic before it was grafted into an 80s lovable cartoon. So, yeah.
So CinemaCon started in March of 2011.
So about good 10, 12, actually 24, about 14 years.
How come maybe I've just been way behind the times. I don't recall it just bringing out like a bunch of big announcements. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, last year they had different. They made a lot of announcements. Some of them were just hurt my brain. There was no, they're doing a reboot of a remake of another movie that just made me roll my eyes.
Another 80s movie?
Yes, I think so. Let me try and look it up real quick. But they got all kinds of stupid things. They made a lot of announcements for upcoming films. One of them was a Blair Witch Project. I'll be getting that.
Oh, I heard about that.
We haven't beat that dead horse down.
So
don't need to see that again. That was neat for the time because the whole tagline was actual footage and that shaky, camera.
It was like the first almost realistic, like, POV or what's it they call that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated that.
That movie was terrible. It was hard to watch.
It was. And I did not. I found it more like, what the hell's going on? Like,
See, I just couldn't get past the camera work. It reminded me of my dad with a home video camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's why
I remember sitting in that the old Carson Theater down there on the north end of town in that stadium seating, watching that with Chris, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, my head's gonna puke. This thing's all over the place. And it wasn't even scary. It was like lame.
It was very
no,
lame.
it wasn't, and it was supposed to be the scariest movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate when movies hype that up too. They always say it's the scariest one yet. And you see, you're like, no.
Yeah, and then they rate it PG-13. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Ooh, so scary. They should have rated it. It should have been just G because you didn't see anything about somebody's some kid's science project making little wicker people.
Oh, she's in the corner. The witch got her.
Yeah,
I mean,
her screaming at the end.
That and the weird stuff with the, somebody's hitting the side of their tent. Ooh, what was it? No one knows.
Yeah, the director.
Maybe it was a bear.
Yeah. It's the boom mic.
It's the sound guy who wants his paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, with that scraping.
Your ratings. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, sir, we are at the end of the segment, so thank you very much for being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Yeah, 2 more shows, and then we're going to have to not have you for one show on May 5th.
Just one show, yeah. I won't be here for Cinco de Mayo, unfortunately, but
Yeah,
I'll be here for the next two.
we'll be doing a live broadcast from Dreamwell Comics. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I'll be at Stained and Seether in Nebraska. I'll be at a concert during that show, so that kind of works out, yeah.
Yeah,
so.
well, it'll be great because then we get a nice
You'll
horrible
finally
review.
get a concert review, yeah.
All right. Maybe even an interview. Good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see. For my nosebleed seat. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
I'll talk to him in advance. Say, hey, you don't recognize me?
Yeah. I write reviews. Come on.
All right, we got to run.
We're famous, baby.
Yep, we'll talk to you later. Everybody else, we'll be right back with more. Welcome back to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. I was looking up why is May 4th Star Wars Day?
May the 4th be with you.
Is that the only real reason?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, because I was looking up. Star Wars actually came out on May 25th, 1977, so it made no sense to me. But okay.
Did you watch the best video game adaptation ever?
What's that, Halo?
Fallout?
Fallout? No, I have not.
Oh, my gosh. It's good.
You're liking it?
Yes. I'm up to episode 5, and oh, my gosh. It is so good.
You know what I enjoy? The fact that they went with just the same universe, but characters from in a different location. Instead of the actual characters from the game, they're just at different characters.
Well, and it takes place at a different time. Like, they actually listed out the time frame of when everything, happens. And this happens after New Vegas.
Okay.
So.
All right. Fair enough.
It's good. It's super good. There's blood and guts galore. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's unexpected too. Boom. Oh, dang. That guy's legs wow.
Dang. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. I think they did the ghouls pretty well. So.
Isn't that one guy? There's one famous guy who's playing one of the ghouls.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. He's playing the mean one. Yes.
Okay. Did he die?
No.
Not yet?
No, he has been alive since the Fallout actually happened. So for 219 years or something, he's been alive.
Wow, no wonder he looks the way he does.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's been kept alive by this serum. They haven't explained exactly what the serum is yet, but
or why it's keeping him alive.
Yeah, but there's other ghouls. It keeps them from turning full ghoul. So,
but it makes them live longer at the same time.
Exactly.
So what happens if they stop taking it? They turn into a ghoul but die?
No. Well, the ghouls are basically zombies, so they turn into basically a zombie. Yeah. They actually show you it happened to one of his friends. So they're talking to him, and the guy's having bipolar disorder, because he's kind of switching in between the zombie stage and not zombie stage.
Jeez, okay.
He even tells them, things are looking pretty bad. You guys might want to get out of here before I turn even worse.
Wow. Okay. All right. Interesting enough. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a go. The film was just officially announced at CinemaCon during the big Universal presentation. It will aim to release in the fall of 2025. Nothing else is known, like if the first film's director, Emma Tammy, will be back, or if star Josh Hutcherson will be back either, as it is still in early development with Blumhouse. But fans can now breathe a sigh of relief as an announcement curiously didn't come soon after the success of the first film last fall. Well, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those that was really weird that they didn't announce right, because it was it was the best movie that produced both streaming results and box office results.
I know they did 291 million worldwide, which and that's what it grossed, so it got back its budget.
Yeah, and it was released on streaming at the same time, so that tells you
wow, so it did really, really well.
Yeah.
So Monopoly is heading to the big screen. Announced at the Lionsgate presentation at CinemaCon, the popular board game will get a feature film in partnership with Hasbro. Barbie producers Lucky Chap will steer the film, headed by Margot Robbie, Tom Ackerley, and Josie McNamara. In a statement, they had this to say about working with Lionsgate and Hasbro. Monopoly is a top property. No pun intended, no pun fully intended. Like all of the best IP, this game has resonated worldwide for generations and we are so excited to bring this game to life alongside the wonderful team involved at Lionsgate and Hasbro. Deadline had the details, said Lionsgate Adam Fogelson. I could not imagine a better production team for this beloved and iconic brand than Lucky Chap. They are exceptional producers who choose their projects with great thought and care and join Monopoly with a clear point of view. We're tremendously excited to be working with the entire Lucky Chap team on what we all believe can be their next blockbuster. We're talking about Monopoly, right? I mean,
okay, well, I think it's interesting because like the Barbie world was brought to life. I mean, it seriously was. And that was like great thanks to Margot Robbie and her production team. Like they worked extensively with Hasbro and stuff like that to get that done. I don't see how they could do this without actually making it like a actual game, you know, with contestants, like, and making it like escape room or something like that, because there's really no other way. Like you have the bald, you know, Monopoly guy, Mr. Monopoly, and that's pretty much it as characters go. Like, you know,
I mean, what are they going to do? It like a Toy Story weird thing?
that's what I mean. Like, you know, like to me, it would seem like it would be more like Jumanji-ish. You know, like players get sucked into the game of Monopoly and they have to like fight their way out somehow by, I don't know, not going bankrupt. I don't know. Like,
honestly, it'd be really cool if they kind of crossed, you know, the whole Toy Story type of aspect. With like Death Race 2000 for this Monopoly thing.
Right?
That'd be awesome. Oh, I should be doing the pitch meeting.
It's just bizarre. Like, seriously. Like, I mean, because like, look, think about like when they did, what is it, Battleship? Remember they were bringing Battleship to life? And that turned out to be just a regular, basic alien war movie. Like, there was really no Battleship. But there was really no Battleship elements to it. Like, you didn't have people going, oh, we're going to shoot him at C5 or, you know, like.
No, they did with the buoys, remember, when they had to, like, try and locate where they're jumping
Oh,
to.
That's right. Yeah.
But nobody yelled, you sank my battleship. That was disappointing.
Exactly.
I mean, that was the whole tagline of
the
game.
It gave us Rihanna as in an acting role. That was it.
Yeah. That was worth it.
It was to some of us.
Okay. All right. Blumhouse and Lionsgate are entering into a new partnership to reimagine classics from the Lionsgate Film Library. First up, a real classic, The Blair Witch Project. I don't think my definition of classic matters anymore. The deal was announced during the CinemaCon presentation from the studio. Jason Blum will produce alongside Roy Lee, who produced the last film in the series in 2016. Blum said this, I'm very grateful to Adam and the team at Lionsgate for letting us play in their sandbox. I'm a huge admirer of the Blair Witch Project, which brought the idea of found footage horror to mainstream audiences and became a true cultural phenomenon. I don't think there would have been a Paranormal Activity had there not first been a Blair Witch. So this feels like a truly special opportunity, and I'm excited to see where it leads. Deadline had the story details. Also, quotes from Adam Fogelson again. And didn't he quote earlier in one of the other articles? Yeah. Chair of Lionsgate. I have been incredibly fortunate to work with Jason I turned into Carl Sagan many times over the years. We forged a strong relationship on The Purge when I was at Universal, and we launched STX with his film The Gift. There is no one better at this genre than the team at Blumhouse, said Fogelson. We are thrilled to kick this partnership off with a new vision for Blair Witch that will reintroduce this horror classic for a new generation. We couldn't be more pleased to be working with them on this and other projects we look forward to revealing soon.
Yeah, okay.
Lionsgate has done a lot of really good movies, and they do have a very classic film library. I just don't see how Blair Witch was picked out of the hat to be the first one that they do.
No,
I
but I do like that they are doing a new trilogy of Strangers. I like those ones. So
the first one, I just didn't get the point of it. I mean, people break into a house and just kill people there
For the fun of it.
Because they
That
answered
was-
the door.
That was the horror of it. It was they were there because they did it because it was for the fun.
No, the horror of it was the acting in it.
No, actually, I thought it was very good. Actually,
Was that Liv Tyler? Liv Tyler?
and
Yeah.
Scott Speedman. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So the first season of Amazon's Fallout series didn't come out until this week, but there are already some good signs that we could end up getting additional episodes. According to reporting from Deadline, the series is getting a $25 million tax credit to film a second season in the state of California. As Deadline notes, that money is conditional and not a guarantee that Fallout Season 2 will happen, as there have been shows approved for the California tax credit that were forced to drop out of the program later. However, it does make it a lot more likely, especially since those involved in the show's creation have already expressed an interest in future seasons. Fallout Season 2 is one of several shows that were giving approval for the tax credit. Most of the shows awarded the money are new ones, including the first seasons of NCIS Origins. However, Fallout Season 2 is what's known as a relocation TV series. The first season of Fallout was filmed in various locations, including New York City, New Jersey, Utah, and the country of Namibia.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, they actually used the Skeleton Coast in Namibia.
Okay.
So yeah, and they used Utah too. That one wasn't mentioned in there, but they used Utah.
Yeah, it was right after New Jersey, right before I got confused by the country of Namibia.
Yeah, no, it's cool because they actually like the stuff that you would think is CGI is not. It's actually like real stuff
On location. Huh?
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Well, I guess they're going more dystopian and just filming in California now.
Well, it's supposed to take place in California. I think that they're actually like. And then supposedly because of the way, I haven't seen the last, but I've heard that they're setting up like basically to visit Vegas. So it makes sense to have them film closer to Vegas.
New Vegas.
Yeah. Yes, New Vegas.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right. So, in an interview with Total Film last month, Fallout co-writer and co-showrunner Graham Wagner addressed the possibility of a second season. Wagner noted that the team has documents of stuff we're in success eager to dig into. Our fingers are crossed that we're going to get the opportunity to do all that stuff. If budget is one of the biggest hurdles on that path, the tax credit from California could go a long way. Unlike most video game adaptations, Fallout is not covering the events of one entry in the series. Instead, it's a new story that takes place in the same universe as the existing games. The show's creators have previously said that they approached the show's first season as if it were Fallout 5, creating new characters while bringing in existing elements from the games. As such, there's no way of predicting what might take place in the second season or even what elements might be brought in. On one hand, that's bound to be exciting for longtime Fallout fans, as it should make the series a bit less predictable. However, it remains to be seen how fans will react to the show and if they'll even want a second season. But you've been watching it, and second season, yes, no?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It actually, right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 94%
audience rating?
To average tomato meter and 88% audience rating.
Nice. So the critics like it. So does the audience,
Yeah.
apparently. So good for them. Eric hasn't started watching the Fallout show yet.
Oh, you got to, Eric. It's good.
Okay, there you go, Eric. You got to watch it. Watch it now. No, wait another hour or so till we're off the air. Then go watch it. So after getting a steady stream of updates on the second season of Max's John Cena starring Peacemaker from Cena, series creator James Gunn and series star Jennifer Holland over the past few weeks, Gunn dropped some surprising production news early yesterday, and good news at that, posting an image of the back of Peacemaker's shiny helmet that also has him taking the selfie in the reflection. Gunn confirmed that yesterday was the first day of filming on the second season, meaning Gunn will be running Superman and Peacemaker filming at the same time. In a later Threads post, when asked about the two projects filming, Gunn confirmed that Saturday was a pre-shoot.
Mm-hmm.
For which one? Superman?
Probably for Peacemaker.
Oh, okay. If he's doing both at the same time, it does make you wonder, though. Will Peacemaker be in
That's
the Superman
exactly
movie?
what I was thinking.
So, that
It is James Gunn. He likes his little crossovers.
Yeah, and plus, that
And
would make a
Cena
lot of sense,
actually is Cena's enjoyable to watch as Peacemaker. So
Yeah. Well, I saw the first season, and I
loved it.
It could have been better in my mind.
Oh, it was great.
But
The whole opening dance sequence is the best.
Wow.
They all, and like I actually was reading up about that, and that's why, like, if you look at like Jennifer Holland's characters and like the actual agents, why they kind of look like they don't know what they're doing, is because they were actually shown that morning. And, like,
So they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only one who had any choreography at all was John Cena.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And the eagle.
Yeah.
What was the eagle's name?
The CGI eagle. Eagly.
Eagly, yes. Still the dumbest name for a character. Come on.
Still
Eagly
Cena,
the
though, it
eagle.
makes total sense, though. Like,
True. Okay. Well, yeah, you got me there. All right.
I mean, in the concept of the show, it makes total sense,
Well, hopefully this means that in some way, shape, or form that the two will cross over and be more of a complete kind of a universe thing, with Peacemaker and
Right.
the new DCU.
Well, it's all
James
supposed
Gunn's
to be
putting together.
connected,
It is.
so
So hopefully it will
Here's
be.
the first connection, supposedly.
Hopefully. We'll
I'm
see.
calling it.
You're calling it? Okay. 7:50
There's going to be a connection
p.m.
in some way.
on April 14th.
It might be just some stupid Easter egg, but
Rob
there's going to
Nault
be a connection.
said, well, you know what? A phone call with a character. That,
Yeah.
Only
That's what I
showing-
mean. Like, there's something like
only showing Peacemaker's into the phone call, but you know who he's talking to. That would tie
Right.
it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's your Easter egg.
Exactly.
Kaboom! So, I don't
Many
know
ways
why
to
I
do
said
it, too.
that.
So
Anyway, so Apple TV Plus and Legendary Entertainment are planning to expand a successful MonsterVerse franchise in some very big ways, and they're not waiting to spread the news. First up, fans of Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell starring Monarch Legacy of Monsters can look forward to a second season, but that's just the beginning. Thanks to a new multi-series deal between the two, fans can look forward to more spin-off projects based on the global franchise phenomenon. The upcoming season of Apple Plus TV Plus's Monarch Legacy of Monsters is executive produced by Chris Black, Matt Fraction, Joby Harold, and Troy Tunnell from Safe House Pictures, Matt Shakeman, Andrew Colville, and Jen Roskin, Hiro Matsuka, and Tamasi Arita, executive produced on behalf of Toho Company Limited, the owner of the Godzilla character. Toho licensed the rights to Legendary for Monarch Legacy of Monsters as part of their long-term relationship with the film franchise. With the next chapters on the way soon, you can catch up on the first season, now streaming globally on Apple TV+. I hope they expand into, since it's Legacy of Monsters, getting more into the actual monsters.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what the other series are going to do.
And, and the ones that are already pre-existing. I would like to see something more about Rodan, since they only showed him in one movie, and he was my favorite Godzilla character. Ones that haven't appeared yet, Gigan it'd be nice to see Gigan in something. I mean, he was kind of goofy with his little saw blade belly and, little hooks, but still, I'd like to see him in the MonsterVerse, how he would look, act, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. I think that they have in all honesty, it's great, but it's also terrible at the same time, because how are they going to decide like what to go with next?
True.
And like, and to make sure that it's going to be a hit, so that they can actually expand again.
I think a major tie-in to the next movie.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Well, and hopefully Monarch will catch up, because right now they're not caught up to
Time
the
Jump
movies.
That's all they got to do.
No, they can't do Time Jump. There's already too much of that's going on in the Monarch series because of the way that the in-between area works. So,
Garrick Gamera is not part of the MonsterVerse or Godzilla's universe.
Gamora? No.
Gamera or Gamora.
Yeah.
I think it's Gamera. Was a completely different franchise that competed with Godzilla back in the day. So he had his own TV show. Not much in the long. It was Gamera was the flying turtle
Yes.
that shot things and very gory too, because he'd like get cut by something and blood would shoot out. Okay, I'm going to look that up. Who owns Gamera? Because he's saying no, it is. Who owns the Gamera character? Yep, Dai Films. Dai Film, the character was created as a property of the production company Dai Film and was intended to compete with the Godzilla film series, which features the giant monster character of the same name owned by rival studio Toho. So, see, Eric, I can be right on occasion, believe it or not. So,
It appeared in Ultraman.
who, Gamera?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Ultraman. That was actually a fun one to watch too. Both of those had the let's throw anything we can together to make a monster kaiju costume for their shows. It was kind of the goofiest stuff ever on TV. I mean, some of the monsters were straight up just hilarious. I mean, if you ever watched the old Gamera TV show or even Ultraman, they were just really goofy.
It does look like Gamora actually has appeared in Godzilla as I'm looking into this. So
If they did, that'd be interesting. I doubt Eric might be right.
So,
Which would be cool.
yeah.
All right. So we got a little under 5 minutes until our big interview with Nathan Johns. So let's see what else we can get into. Do you got any more news from CinemaCon?
I think you actually covered it all. I think
No way I covered it all.
No, I think there was one other thing. Hold on. There was. It looks like horror's going to be big this year. You got Alien Romulus. You got Halle Berry
And
starring.
actually, I want to see more about that Alien Romulus because that first trailer looked really good.
Yeah.
That piqued my interest because I've always been a fan of of Alien and Aliens. Did not like Aliens to the Third Power or that one goof. It just got goofy from there.
They were on the prison planet.
That one wasn't that Aliens to the Third Power. Yeah, okay. The one after that with Ron Perlman and his motley crew of monkeys.
I actually like that one and that one had with the impossible basketball shot that was actually real.
Impossible basketball.
Yes,
shot.
she Sigourney Weaver shoots the basketball back, makes it into the hoop backwards, and she actually did it for real. It wasn't CGI'd or anything.
Really?
Yeah, and their faces were like stunned because she actually did it. Like that was like real reaction. Like
so that was the Aliens chest buster moment from the first movie right there.
But you got
if you want to know what I'm talking about with that, apparently nobody in the cast knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, no.
So when it actually happened, that's why
their reactions were so like real.
Yeah, they thought he was having a seizure. That's why they were really trying to put a spoon in his mouth because they thought he was having a seizure and all this stuff. So yeah, very weird stuff.
So you got this movie called Never Let Go with Halle Berry trying to keep her children safe after an apocalypse. You got Smile 2 coming out.
Oh, really? Did you see the first one?
And it's going to actually be starring Naomi Scott, who was Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin movie.
Yeah, I never watched it.
And then Universal is actually going to be producing Nosferatu by, what's his name? Robert Eggers, who did The Witch and stuff like that.
If I was him, I would not be putting that on my resume.
My wife hated that movie too.
All right, next week bring up The Witch to Tony. You want to hear somebody just, it's like a dog whistle trigger word for him. You just go, hey Tony, The Witch. No, he just goes off on that movie.
But this one actually should be good. It has Bill Skarsgård starring as Nosferatu, so
we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
and then of course they announced the Five Nights at Freddy 2 and Megan 2.
Yeah, Megan 2.0.
Yeah. But
which I'm sure you're looking forward to.
I am. I enjoyed it. It was a great movie. Like I said, I go to the movies to have fun, and that was a fun movie.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I would like to go to movies to enjoy them for just being movies, but not my personality. Sorry.
Yeah.
So some big news to pass along about concerning Paramount Plus's Star Trek universe.
Yes.
We learned that
sad and good at the same time.
Yeah. Well, not for me because I don't care about either of these shows, but a lot of people do, like both of them, and they've crossed over, if I remember correctly.
They did.
Anson Mount, Rebecca Ramirez, and Ethan Peck, starring Star Trek Strange New Worlds, will be returning for a 4th season, with season 3 currently in production and set to hit the screens in 2025. Wow, that's a long way off for a season 3. In addition, Tawny Newsome and Jack Quaid starring animated series Star Trek Lower Decks will be back this fall for its 5th and final season. The news comes as Discovery gets ready to end its run after 5 seasons, with Michelle Yeoh starring Section 31, having recently wrapped filming, and Starfleet Academy expected to kick off production later this year.
Yep.
So, and here's what they had to say about that in a release from the Star Trek Lower Decks. We wanted to let you know that this fall will be the 5th and final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. While 5 seasons of any series these days seems like a miracle, it's no exaggeration to say that every second we spent making that show has been a dream come true. Our incredible cast, crew, and artists have given you everything they have because they love the characters they play. They love the world they've built, and more than anything, we all love, love, love Star Trek. We're excited for the world to see our hilarious 5th season, which we're working on right now. And the good news is that all previous episodes will remain on Paramount Plus, so there's still so much to look forward to as we celebrate the Cerritos crew with a big send-off.
Yep.
Finally, thank you for always being so creative and joyful, for filling convention halls and chanting Lower Decks. We remain hopeful that even beyond Season 5, Mariner, Baumler, Tendi, Rutherford, the Enoho, Cerritos crew will live on with new adventures. LLAP, Mike McKinnon, and Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah, Jack Quaid is in the hopes that they are going to get picked up by another network.
All right, we ran a little long, but when we get back, it'll be interview time with Nathan Johns. Welcome back to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And indie comics has always been kind of a, shall we say, an obsession of mine.
Yes.
And so a lot of huge franchises have developed over the years from independent comic books. The Crow, Men in Black, also The Walking Dead. All started as little small press comics. And so it always brings a little joy to me when I can say that Northern Nevada has their own indie comic industry. And on the phone with us right now is Nathan Johns. And he is the owner, creator, and writer for Tenebris, Anima Comics. What a rough name to say. I got to say that right off the bat.
Yeah, it's all Latin for Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So not related to the game, though, is it?
No, it's not.
You open up, you're dead. Okay. So what got you into doing Tenebris Anima Comics?
So I've been a storyteller for years. I do role-playing games mostly. White Wolf games like Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampire the Masquerade. Like right now my role players are playing Changeling the Dreaming, which is like a urban fantasy fairy game. And I've just been doing that forever. And I've always wanted to publish something. And I actually started following a creator named Larry Higgins on Facebook who does Niobe Comics. And he was kind of my inspiration to put a story in comic book format.
So what made you pick God Slayers? I know that you have there's some interesting characters involved in the series. Episode 1, interestingly termed since it's the first issue, but it's called Episode 1. Has 5 main characters, 4 of which you're kind of introduced. You're just kind of thrown in there with them. Can we get a little bit on each character, starting with the main character, Ash, I think his name? Or Dust?
So Dust Spellbinder, yeah.
So
and he's a necromancer.
Okay, so very
They
D&D
actually they call him the Sanguine Sorcerer, and so like a lot of my inspiration is role playing, and my brother and I used to play D&D, and we used to argue like what it would take to be a morally good necromancer. And Dust was kind of born from that.
Okay. So what is Dust actually? Because there's no the first. I read you sent me the first 2 issues, which I read over. But you're kind of thrown in with this group, with no real backstory like Jericho. He looks like he might be kind of like an elf, or I mean a dwarf, but he's not, and he has a mechanical arm.
Yep.
How does that happen? I mean,
so it's actually completely magical, and if he runs out of mana, he stops being able to use it. So I think instead of mana, they call it Anima.
Okay. Now it's all making sense. So where do you see where are you at with issue number 3?
So we're about 2/3 of the way through issue number 3. It's been, I've had a lot of busyness at work this year because I work a day job in order to produce my comics.
No, I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah.
So we've fallen kind of behind on Godslayers episode 3. I would normally be launching in April, but we're only 2/3 of the way through it. But I'm also working on a title that's the Godslayers Origins, that tells the origin story of the Godslayer.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So I actually have 2 issues in work right now.
Okay, so with 2 titles in the works, God Slayers is your main, shall we say, your flagship title. So, if for those who are wondering what the first and second issue entail as far as art-wise, it's very elaborate. Looks like a computer artwork. For starters, but very.
So Mario is actually an animator, and those are all like originally made 3D models by Mario.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So he does a lot of 3D modeling and is working on getting into animation.
Okay. So can we look for a Godslayers anime in the near future? Or in the future?
I don't know about the near future, but it would be awesome. I'm a huge anime fan, so I wouldn't be opposed to the idea.
Okay, well, that explains the artwork as well. So you got D&D mixed with anime, which is always an interesting combination, because I used to watch a Goblin Slayer. So, but that was more just straight up anime with a kind of light D&D kind of touch to it, with just the berserker and the goblins and elves and everything, but that was a vicious manga. So
I haven't actually watched that one yet, but I've heard it's a pretty vicious one.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of not too kid friendly things that I can't discuss on FCC regulated radio about that show. So what's with the Godslayer sword? I mean, he pulls it out of the ground. And kind of uses that to summon the actual God Slayer, which is kind of like a mummified-looking werewolf. Are we going to get into more backstory about all the characters and?
Yeah, big time. So I'm writing the scripts for Godslayer's Origins that tells Dust's origin story, and then, like I said, I'm working on the one for the Godslayer, and Dust actually pulls that out of like storage magic.
Okay.
And so the Godslayer sword is actually sealed away in like a dimensional space that he pulls it out of, and then he uses it to tear down the barrier that was put up to keep people from reaching the Godslayer's body.
Gotcha.
And the whole point is he can only wield that sword for a period of time because it weakens his magic. and so, or his Anima, and so he asks Bella to pour her mana into the spell with him because he's lost magic from wielding the sword himself. And Jericho has wielded that sword, and that's how he lost his arm.
Okay.
But that's all backstory you find out way later. Like, as I get more into the comics, I definitely have a lot to tell people.
Or on this radio show, we just found it all out,
Right.
too. So.
I've talked about it online a little bit, too. I do streams from time to time with other indie comic creators. Like I said, Larry Higgins, who does Niobe Comics, and then I spend a lot of time with a guy named Pete Vasquez, who's working on his first indie comic and has done a cover for Godslayers Episode 2. And there's like really a great community of indie creators out there if you're looking to get into it.
Well, a thing that I would like to see as far as for your third title that you need to work on is just a series based on the Thousand Hells, which issue 1 and 2 kind of take place in.
Yeah, that's Dusk going back to tell the story about how he retrieved the Godslayer's soul. And so I do want to tell a lot of that story, but I think I'm going to try and focus on the main characters for Godslayers at first and kind of start telling that story. And then, because a lot of the Thousand Hells and the Yama Kings has to do with the 8 slain gods that earned the Godslayer his title.
Oh, okay.
8 of 9 gods of the realm were slaughtered by the Godslayer when he rose up in Athenea.
Okay. So that's and it sounds like it could be an interesting video game, too.
I would love to do any of those things.
Well, quite honestly, I think maybe you guys have thought of this. I don't know, but are you going to be for issue number 3 once it's ready? Going to kind of like a Kickstarter to try and get funding for distribution?
Yes, I kickstarted Godslayers Episode 1 and 2, and then with Godslayers 3, I'll be including the trade paperback for people who don't have Episode number 1. That'll be Episode 1 and 2.
Oh, cool.
So if people haven't got that yet, I'll have a trade paperback for that coming out with Godslayers Episode 3. And depending on the pace of Godslayers Origins, I may release that with Godslayers 3 as well.
Okay. Well, since all of the characters are based on 3D modeling, maybe a toy line?
Again, I'd be down for whatever. If Todd McFarlane hit me up to make a Godslayer or Death toy, I wouldn't tell him no.
Well, maybe you should hit him up. I mean, you already got the fundamentals for it. Just say, hey, new comic book. Here's some characters. Here's some toy line. You might go for it. You never know.
It could be something fun to check out in the future, yeah.
Well, or tomorrow. So have you been, I know you have a con appearance coming up because you're going to be at Kaboom Con here in Carson City at the Carson Community Center on September 7th. Will there be physical copies of the Godslayers 1 and 2 available for people to purchase, as well as converse with you, find out what's going on, and all of that?
Yep, that, and I've made stickers of Godslayers and their villains. Hopefully I'll have at least previews of Godslayers Episode 3, because that's where I introduce most of my villains for the Godslayers storyline, as well as tell kind of Jericho's backstory. And then I also have a bunch of art prints done by fantastic artists. I don't know if John Stinsman, who did Evangeline covers and did Evangeline. Oh. I have a print done by him. I have prints done by Victor Medina and done by our interior artist, Mario A. Barraza, as well as like a bunch of other fantastic artists like Greg Bo Watson and Courtney Rose. So.
Well, interestingly enough, you heard that the Evangeline comic is going to be turned into a movie, right?
I also hear rumors that they're going to do an omnibus.
Oh, that'd be...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they're going to have a movie, they're going to have to promote the comic book everywhere they can after that. So, Rob Liefeld's got to be happy. Eric in Whittier, California says that if you have 3D models, he will print them up and 3D print them for you.
Okay. I may have to have... tell him... Well, you can find me on Tenebris Anima Comics on Facebook. So if you wanted to hit me up, I'd like to talk about that. That'd be cool.
I got the comic or the site pulled up, so let me just send that to him real quick because he was contacting us through Facebook. So.
And then Mario, who's my interior artist, he did a 3D stretch goal for our first Kickstarter, and that was actually given to people as well. And then I have kind of a partial 3D model of Bella that we were working on.
Bella, is that the one with the interesting pink outfit?
Yes.
Yep. That's my Sailor Moon shout out.
I was going to say, it did. Okay, that's very.
Yeah, it does have a very Sailor Moon-ish. Well, not really in the chest area. That's not very Sailor Moon, but yeah. Other than that,
and then she has the capability to summon like weapons from thin air using her magic, and she prefers shields and hammers.
Shields and hammers.
Love it.
But okay, so just out of curiosity, you've done conventions before, right?
I've done, last year I did Silver Age and I did Elko, and this year I'll be doing Silver Age in Reno in July, and I'll be doing Kaboom and Tahoe in September. And I haven't heard anything yet from Elko, but I'll be reaching out to them too. And I think that one's in August.
Well, hopefully they are doing another con, because it was kind of a surprise that they did it last year. I got invited to it, but I'm like, it's Elko, and I got to drive there, and I have a show to do on Sunday night. And
it was a blast. I had a lot of fun there.
I'm sure it would be, but it's the drive when you have to do a show at a particular time. That's kind of the hang-up. So, has anybody come up to your table cosplaying as one of your characters yet?
Nope, I'm not that big yet, but I'll keep getting issues out there and hope that someday.
Well, honest reaction. How would you feel if somebody did? I mean, would you be? It's like if you seen your twin. If you didn't know you had a twin and you looked at yourself and you wouldn't recognize yourself, would you be able to recognize one of your characters as somebody who's cosplaying as them?
I think I would be able to recognize them. And then, I'd just get my picture taken with them because I'm usually cosplayed as Saitama from One Punch Man, running my booth. So, shaved head and my Opie sweatshirt. So,
there you go. And I think it's an interesting comic book. The D&D base that it's on. Yeah. I really want to know more about the Thousand Hells, though. Because that looks like it would be an interesting environment. Do you usually do a D&D group on Sunday nights, right?
I do role playing group, but we don't do D&D. We just do role playing. So we do the old 3rd edition White Wolf systems. So like I said, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse. Right now we're playing Changeling. So.
Well, you guys should get together next Sunday and start putting together a Godslayer's game based on that engine.
So I've always wanted to write a role-playing game, man. I'm always working on the system for it, but that's a lot of work.
Yes, it is. But it'd be so rewarding. So let's see all the options available. You got the comic book that's already in print, which is, kudos to you, which can expand to, because the artist, you can go into anime, or animation, and from there you can do the video game, and then from that, because it's already being 3D modeled, you can do action figures, and a coup de grace, number 5, you get your gauntlet right there, your Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. Number 5 would be the thumb, and it would be a RPG game.
That would be fantastic, and it's something that's been suggested to me before, and that I've been working on a role-playing system for a long time. It would be fun to do it.
All right. Well, it sounds like you got a full plate, and plus you got cons coming up, and to do your day job, of course. Hopefully you get some vacation time. You can get a lot more work done. Definitely let me know, though, when you go to do the Kickstarter for issue number 3 before it launches, so I can have you back on the show. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
And I look forward to seeing you at Kaboom Con. Or actually, we'll see you at Silver Age Comic Con before then, so that'll be a good thing.
And, man, my first time at a con, I thought I was going to be nervous as heck, but I rolled right out there and had a good time. So.
Good.
I'm looking forward to meeting people at the con. Like, come check out Godslayers. So
Yep.
it's been my lifelong dream to be a storyteller, and I've just moved from storytelling to 7 or 8 people in my living room to print.
To a whole new world out there. So it's Tenebris Anima Comics. You can find them on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com, Tenebris Anima Comics. Big old Godslayer logo on the front there, as well as the Tenebris Anima Comics. And I'll be, when we go to break here in less than 10 minutes, I'll be posting the link directly on Pop Culture Kaboom's news feed, so you can go and check it out if you're listening online in one of the 26 various countries that we're broadcasting in right now that I have listeners. So thank you very much, sir. I wish you the best with your venture, and I look forward to talking to you in person coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you for having me on.
All right.
No problem. All right. So everybody else, let's talk some more stuff. Anything that is on your mind, if you'd like, 775-515-4141. And also, if you are, we're still looking for caller number 7. If you'd like that gift certificate for Dreamo Comics, we're up to number 6. So we just need one more caller to get that.
Yep.
Or if you have anything on your mind and you'd like to be on the air, 775-515-4141. So we talked about James Gunn confirming that he's doing a Peacemaker and also Superman at the same time. That'll be fun and interesting to see. So let's get into this. And it is time to boogaloo on over to Target. Boogaloo? Boogaloo?
Boogaloo, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't. Okay. Have you been watching The Bad Batch?
The Bad Batch?
Yes.
Yes.
Eric wants to know what you think of the end of The Bad Batch.
So far, like,
Has it ended? Or
I
is it still
don't
going?
think it has ended. I believe it's only on episode 15, and I think there's 18, but I'm not sure. Because it didn't seem like it just, like, the last episode just kind of, like, ended, like, so I don't know if it, like...
Was the end
Yeah.
finale, or...
And, yeah, I mean, they've revealed some stuff, but, like...
But did they die?
Yeah.
They did?
No. Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry, they're on episode 13, not 15.
Maybe there's only 15 episodes.
Let's see. Maybe that's what it was. Let's see.
Or maybe it's just referring to the end of the last Bad Batch episode. I don't know. It's kind of cryptic. But you've been watching Bad Batch, so...
Yeah. It's good. It's tying in some of the lore. I think they're trying to fix the whole... it's Palpatine. He's back somehow. Like... because they're explaining a whole lot to do with like the midichlorians and how M count is important and how they can transfer the M count, one person's M count to another person, and yeah.
Good. Well, they're just stretching the boundaries of science and science fiction to explain how he came back.
Oh yeah.
They're really reaching for it. Okay. All right. So it's time to boogaloo on over to Target, as Nika has unveiled some brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collectibles, releasing as part of the annual Target Hallathon event. Nika has kicked off an impressive assortment of limited edition and exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures across all their series. One of those special releases is a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles disguised Punk Turtles 4-pack. Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello are back as they get disguises, as seen in the hit 80s cartoon with disguises from Enter the Shredder and the European Vacation episodes. Oh, it's setting up to the Empire with Ahsoka. So, okay. Shredder up. All 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will come with a new disguise sculpted featuring their animated design from the series, and will come with swappable heads. Other accessories which include a variety of hands, a hoverboard, bags of groceries, a boombox, a toy robot, and, of course, as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a pizza. So you gotta have the pizza. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a Target exclusive and can be found in stores. But where does it make them Punk Turtles? I don't get it. Punk Turtle. They described everything except the Punk Turtle disguises.
Well, maybe they're not doing those ones.
Well, why did they call it the Punk Turtles 4-pack then?
I don't know. Maybe that's how they actually come, is dressed as the Punk Turtles, and then you get dressed in otherwise.
But they didn't describe them as what those punk outfits look like. But anyway, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a Target exclusive. Can be found in stores right now for a whopping, you want to take a stab?
$24.99.
$150.
Oh, jeez.
You were way off. Now you know why I was laughing. Fans can also find them online, but they go in and out of stock pretty fast. And keep your eyes peeled. Phew, that's disgusting. For more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles releases from NECA, like their animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Club figures. I don't even want to know. Based on the classic 1980s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series.
Oh, okay.
After being accidentally exposed to radioactive ooze, 4 ordinary household pets are transformed into a band of wisecracking, pizza-loving, villain-dicing adolescent reptiles. The heroes in a half shell are ready to rock in this radical Punk Turtles 4-pack. These 7-inch scale action figures of Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello come loaded with all-new episode-specific accessories presented in collector-friendly window box packaging. Okay, it still makes absolutely zero sense why they're called as the Punk Turtles, but still, all right. So it was back in 1967 when Marvel Comics fans were introduced to the power and might of the deadly crime lord Wilson Fisk. The Kingpin made his grand debut back in the Amazing Spider-Man number 50, and has since been a pain in the sides of many heroes inside the Marvel Universe. Going head-to-head with Luke Cage, Spider-Man, and, of course, Daredevil, the Kingpin is a deadly threat and a must-have Marvel Legends for any collectors. It appears that Hasbro has surprised Marvel fans by reissuing the rare and fan-favorite Spider-Man Retro Collection figure. Kingpin is one of the most expansive Retro Collection figures in this series, and this figure is just packed with details and comes on a massive card back featuring his classic outfit. This Kingpin will tower over any hero who gets in his way and will be a necessary addition to any fans who missed his previous release. Reissues like this do not happen often, so they do. Spider-Man fans can now bring home the Kingpin once again for, you want to take a stab in the dark?
$49.99.
Ooh, so close. $39.99. So close. With a July 2024 release, pre-orders are live now on various fan channel sites, so get your order in while you can. Wilson Fisk ruthlessly rules New York City's underworld with cunning and a keen intellect as the supervillain known as Kingpin. With over 80 years of comic book and movie history, Marvel has become a cornerstone of fan collectibles collections around the world. With the Marvel Legends series, fan-favorite Marvel Comics Universe and Marvel Cinematic Universe characters are designed with premium detail and articulation for posing and displaying in collections. Thank you for that little soundbite we didn't need. It's true, though. All right. So after being leaked ahead on accident, Ubisoft confirmed the release date of Star Wars Outlaws as the game arrives on August 30th. Along with Lucasfilm Games, the two parties revealed more about the upcoming title, as well as release notes for the several versions of this they're offering up. You can pre-order the game now in either Standard, Gold, or Ultimate Edition, each of which comes with its own set of content and bonuses, depending on what you want to pay for. During this era, the Empire's rule is distracted by the rebellion that won't quit, leading to a golden age for the underworld. As a skilled thief, Kay's antics, Kay from Men in Black? No, wrong Kay. Antics catch the attention of Sliro, the leader of a new, unformidable criminal syndicate. Zurich Besk, after Sliro places a bounty on Kay's head, Kay and Nyx are offered their one shot at freedom, pull off one of the greatest heists of all time. Kay and Nyx that's pretty vast in the Star Wars universe, considering it goes back thousands and thousands of years. Anyway, I digress. Kay and Nix will need to navigate the underworld across the galaxy, building their reputation with legendary. See, they can be remembered across the galaxy for a bounty on their head, but they can't know. But they don't remember the rebellion in the prequels or in the sequels. Makes no sense, and it was only 30 years old after that. Anyway, I digress. Including the Pike Syndicate, the Hutt Cartel, and the Asega Clan, and Crimson Dawn. All right, but there is more to that, but we have to take this hard break. So we'll be back with more Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show right after this, and still looking for caller number 7 for the Dreamwell gift certificate. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with 30 minutes of show left. Welcome back to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Still looking for caller number 7 for that Dreamwell Comics gift certificate, 775-515-4141. Or if you want to comment on anything that you've heard on the show thus far, feel free to give us a call. Before the break, we were talking about Star Wars Outlaws, and it's coming out on August 30th. There's 3 different things going on with that as far as, price-wise and all of that stuff. So we're talking about the game itself and the synopsis of it, pretty much. So Kay and Nix will travel across the galaxy to gain the right resources and crew for the ultimate heist in their journey. It sounds like they're doing a version of Solo, the Star Wars story, that kind of had the whole Han Solo and his train heist in space kind of thing, which was kind of goofy, but I digress. Anyway, they'll travel across distinct locations, both iconic and new. Canto Bight, Kajima, Tatooine. Of course, you got to go to Tatooine. Everybody's got to go to there. Akiva and the windswept savanna of Tosara. Along the way, Kay will explore bustling cities and cantinas, race across sprawling outdoor landscapes on her speeder, and pilot her ship, the Trailblazer. Through the wilds of space, when things go awry, the Trailblazer will also help them chase, evade, and attack to gain the upper hand in thrilling dogfights with the Empire and other foes, like Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Where is Crimson Dawn from? There's something else
that was from Solo. That Kira, his love
there
interest.
was something else that had Crimson Dawn, but I can't. Another movie or show or something that had that name.
But that means that we're going to probably see Kira again. I think that's how you say it.
Or maybe even Darth Maul. Who knows? It's always interesting to find out. So if you're into gaming, Paizo has launched the Pathfinder Beginner Box Days over the weekend. Along the way, giving players a chance to try the game out for free over the next week. This is the 3rd annual event like this, originally started in 2022 as a way for players to experience the game on an entry level without having to buy anything. This time around, players will have a chance to play Pathfinder Remastered for free as experienced game masters guide them through 2 levels of monsters, traps, and puzzles. Maul and Deathstrike. Okay. I guess for Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know who Deathstrike is. Anyway, this time around, players will have a chance to play as experienced game masters on traps and puzzles. You can have an option of playing the pre-generated content or diving into your own creations, as this specific box is designed to slowly introduce players to core game concepts until April 21st, so not that slow. This is the 3rd annual event aimed at bringing new players to the tabletop role-playing game hobby. The first Beginner Box Day in 2022 was a huge success, followed in 2023 by the first week-long expansion. Both events boasted over 300 players and 60 game masters running dozens of tables of the starter adventure Menace Under Oturi. The first event also coincided with the release of Paizo's Deluxe Foundry VTT module release, and a generous donation enabled every GM to secure a free copy of it. Last year, the Beginner Box sold out worldwide, but thanks to our event, players will still be able to experience it, said lead organizer and r/Pathfinder 2E mod Pete Zupan. Pathfinder was remastered for its new license, and this year will be focused on helping players learn that edition of the game under the moniker Age of the Orc. The Pathfinder Beginner Box is the best way to get started playing Pathfinder. The Beginner Box days are a wonderful way for the community to come together and start new adventures. Rue Dickey, marketing and media specialist at Paizo, said regarding the event, "We appreciate the time, energy, and love put into this event by the community and are excited to see it continue." Yay?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, if you ever wanted to get into it, I guess now this would be a great week to do that.
Yeah.
So
It's free. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I actually want to go back to Outlaws for a second.
Yeah.
So the 3 editions, you only get Jabba's mission if you buy the gold or higher.
Oh, poo.
Yeah.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
So what do you get if you get the regular edition?
The regular edition just gets you the base game and cosmetics for pre-order.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's $70.
Dang.
The gold edition is $110. And that gets you the 3 days early access, and then of course it's called Jabba's Gambit, which is an exclusive DLC, but only made at launch. And then the expensive one, which is $130, also includes a Rogue Infiltrator bundle, which is more cosmetics, a Sabak Shark bundle, which is more cosmetics, and a digital art book.
Okay.
They've been throwing in those digital art books to all these like super editions lately. To me personally, I don't see the appeal. Like,
I don't either.
It's not something I can download to like my tablet. It stays on my computer. It's on the game, so it's not like something I can take with me. Like,
yeah.
Where if it was something I could have on my tablet, I think then okay, that would be kind of like feasible,
Yeah. But no, you can't. I mean, I like art, but don't like it that much.
Well, yeah, and to only view it on my console.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Who has time for that?
Yeah. That's expensive. I'm sorry. I mean, games have gotten like pricey, but that's way pricey.
Gotten crazy.
And they
pricey.
know, and the thing is that they know they can get it because they know people will pay it.
True. So if you're complaining about the marketplace, it's your own fault.
This is one of those games that I'm glad I have like gift certificates to like GameStop or because that's what it's for. Like, it's to buy these games that I would never see myself shelling out this money like physically myself. But I have a gift card that's been sitting around
until now.
Yeah.
So are you going to get this game or
probably not at pre-order? Cosmetics aren't a big deal to me, but generally too, like after a couple weeks, it might go on sale. So.
Okay.
And especially with Ubisoft, they do a lot of their like good sales for Xbox. So I tend to wait a little bit for the Ubisoft games and get them cheaper. But that's me. I'm excited about the game, but I can't shell out that much money. Like,
okay. Well, you dropped a bomb on me during the last break. You saw a movie recently that I haven't. Never even thought about seeing, which is quite interesting because it has a 33% tomato meter, but an audience score of 72.
Yeah.
Well, so that's impressive. So the critics didn't like it, but apparently the audiences, which you are, did, and that is Argyle.
Yes.
So let me just refresh everybody's memory real quick here with a, if I can get my computer to cooperate with me, which it ain't at the moment, which really is unfortunate because I had it pulled up and ready to go. And then it does this to me, and now I can't find what I was looking at, which irritates the crap out of me.
General synopsis I can give you.
Oh, that's what I was going to get.
So it's about a writer named Ellie Conway.
Well, I have the actual synopsis.
Okay, go for
it. That's what I hit the show less or no show more button, and all of a sudden it all freaked out. So Bryce Dallas Howard, Jurassic Park franchise, is Ellie Conway, the reclusive author of a series of best-selling espionage novels whose idea of bliss is a night at home with her computer and her cat, Alfie. But when the plots of Ellie's fictional books, which center on secret agent Argyle and his mission to unravel a global spy syndicate, begin to mirror the covert actions of a real-life spy organization, quiet evenings at home become a thing of the past, accompanied by Aiden, Oscar winner Sam Rockwell, a cat allergic spy, Ellie, carrying Alfie in her backpack, races across the world to stay one step ahead of the killers as the line between Ellie's fictional world and her real-life one begins to blur. And you saw this. And
Yes.
it has Henry Cavill in it,
Yes.
starring as Argyle.
Yeah, he's
at
Argyle,
least,
yeah.
in the
He has the funniest haircut.
fiction. Oh, he looked like Vanilla Ice.
Yes,
he really
yes,
did.
yeah. It's like his flat top is like grown out, like, but still shaved on the side. It's like funny as yeah.
Were you singing that the whole time you were watching?
It was just one of those things. I just was like, "There's something wrong with his flat top." Like, but it was actually it was an enjoyable film. Me and my wife, we laughed the entire time. It got like so like you had to towards the end of the movie, like the last, I would say, half hour was just filled with ridiculousness that like was nonstop laughable. I don't think I laughed out loud so hard in a movie like in a long time about the ridiculousness that was happening. Like,
wow.
But it was not exactly because we had when we reviewed it, it looks kind of like Romancing the Stone. Totally not that movie at all. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually like really good. I don't want to spoil it because there's a really good twist in this and it's like really good. And so I don't want to spoil it, but there's just some things that it's just outrageous. Like the cat, actually, there wasn't very much CGI of the cat. Just it was like a real cat, like most of the time.
Okay, so it wasn't like a Garfield movie.
Yeah, yeah. And the cat actually didn't factor in much, like we were all thinking. The cat was just
Well, the trailers played into it.
yeah,
like it was a
exactly.
big
The
part of
cat was
movie.
just with her, like because when she had to like leave, she was packing. What happened is that she's on her way to go see her mom, and when everything like happens, and so she has her cat with her because she brings her cat with her. So that's why the cat's with her. Like, but it actually was, like I said, it was a funny movie. It was great. Bryce Dallas Howard actually does a really good job. Sam Rockwell is great as always. He plays one of those goofy characters, but lovable, you know. Like I said, there's just some ridiculousness at the end that it's just great. But
So does it get cleaned up, or does he look like a hobo the entire time?
no, he gets cleaned up.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's funny is like, when he meets her, he's like, this is what a spy looks like. We don't look like that. You know, he goes, because if you look at the train, who stands out, you know, like, cause he's like meets her on the train and he's trying to like, let her know like, okay, your idea of what a spy is
unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. But I love your books, you know, cause he's like, he likes her books, you know?
Well, she wasn't writing like she wasn't Guy Ritchie trying to do a real.
And it actually has some really good like action sequences in it. Like Sam Rockwell does really well with beating people up. So because he's not a big action. He's not a bulky star. He's kind of average. So for him to actually like kick some butt is actually kind of like realistic. Like
Or like the what was that movie? Nobody.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay. There you
But
go.
yeah, no, it was like I said, we enjoyed it. It has Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Did he drop the MF bomb?
No, actually, he doesn't.
What?
No, yeah, he plays like this like soft spoken, like totally opposite Samuel L. Jackson character. Like at first, I was like, wait, is that Samuel L. Jackson? Like,
Where's the MF?
yeah, no,
I gotta hear the MF.
exactly.
Come on, Sam.
And Bryan Cranston's in it, Catherine O'Hara. So it has some like great people in it, and yeah, it had, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but go if you have Apple TV, I do recommend it.
Okay. So, but something you wouldn't have seen in the theater, though.
No. And then I think like it was just one of those things. It was like, hey, it looks all right, it looks good. I still probably wouldn't have seen it in the theater. Like it's definitely a streaming movie where you could just laugh your butt off. Like,
So, do you think it would have played better if they had a different kind of trailer for it?
I think so.
Okay.
But I see where they went with it because, like I said, the twist is not what you're expecting at all. So I think
I'm kind of wondering
play
what this
that-
twist is now.
to play that around, they had to do the marketing the way they did.
Okay.
So
they didn't want to reveal too much about the
exactly,
movie,
and I think
so
that's why
had
they
to-
played with the cat a lot. Like thinking that you would think that it revolved around the cat. Because at first I thought the cat was named like Argyle.
So did I. I did too. Then I thought that, well, okay, she does this fictional spy named after her cat.
Yeah,
so.
No, exactly, but no, it's the Henry Cavill character is Argyle,
named after the cat.
Yeah, I'll tell you the spoilers after the break. But.
Okay, you mean after the show? Because we're done here in 11 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So mobile game developer Hunted Cow Studios and publisher Tilting Point have started taking pre-registrations for their upcoming game, Godzilla Kong Titan Chasers. Yeah. In case you haven't seen the game yet, because it's still in pre-registration, I guess. But anyway, the teams are working with Legendary Entertainment and Toho International for this one, as you'll fight for survival and control in a world that follows the rise of the Titans. Here you'll experience a new 4X mobile strategy game featuring the two iconic Titans with various challenges to overcome. We have more information regarding that. It's going to be on the Android and iOS right now, with the game scheduled to come out on July 31st, 2024. In Godzilla Kong Titan Chasers, players will step into the shoes of elite explorers, mercenaries, and thrill seekers known as Titan Chasers. I guess they replaced, what was that, Storm Chasers with Titan Chasers, who have landed on Siren Isles, home of an untamed new ecosystem forged by the rise of the Titans. These islands represent a fractured mix of hollow earth and modern civilization, where former towns and cities are now overgrown by exotic flora, fauna, and other resources, making for a richly tempting environment for Titan Chasers. Players will traverse a world teeming with massive monsters and titans. Well, if they're a bunch of islands, they can't be that massive.
I'm not thrilled.
No, yeah, you're showing me the
yeah,
trailer
I just
for
saw
it.
that there's a trailer out, and so I'm showing him the trailer right now. But it's, I don't know, it's just kind of like,
it's a standard strategy game where
yeah,
turn-based.
It's not
obviously.
it's turn-based. It's not RPG. It's like a
well, it's a mobile
game.
game, so I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really be that.
No, but
intricate
you
with
could
it.
do RPG on mobile.
Yeah, but at least the graphics look okay.
Yeah, the graphics looks good, but it just looks like a standard game.
Yeah, of course it does.
Sorry, I like Godzilla Kong, but sorry.
But not that much. Where former towns and cities, blah, 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 world teeming with massive monsters and titans, while skillfully enhancing their elite team's capabilities and resources amongst other players on the island. With a 4X strategy fused with RPG elements, players in Godzilla X Kong Titan Chasers will erect their headquarters, expand a sphere of influence, and confront and eradicate towering adversaries to ensure the survival and supremacy of their squad. Okay. So we were talking about Blizzard Entertainment earlier being purchased by whoever that was at bottom. Xbox.
There you go.
That's what it was. But Blizzard Entertainment revealed new details about Worlds of Warcraft Dragonflight Darkheart as the final chapter of this run is on the way. Technically known as Update 10.2.7, this will bring about the end of the Dragonflight and serve as the bridge to what people will experience with the War Within. Players can test it out right now, as the content is live on the public test servers, as it will be released sometime within the next month. World of Warcraft Dragonflight Darkheart will bring the story of Dragonflight to its conclusion, while also teeing up the start of the next grand tale, The War Within, the latter of which will arrive later this year, and is the first chapter of the new multi-expansion story arc, The World Soul Saga. But that's not all.
Oh.
As Darkheart will also introduce an exciting new event. Hot off the heels of Plunderstorm, in Update 10.2.6, the WoW team announced in a community blog, World of Warcraft Remix, Mists of Pandaria. This new PvE-focused event brings back a beloved expansion with new twists as part of WoW's year-long 20th anniversary celebration. And what they'll have with it, accelerated leveling cadence. All zones, creatures, quests, and rewards have been overhauled to accommodate an accelerated 1 through 70 leveling experience. If you're new to the game, that is always helpful, I guess. But I don't like when you speed level like that, because then you're all the way up to level 70, but you do not have the equipment necessary to be a level 70.
Right, yeah, no, exactly.
So I just ran into that on Star Trek Restoration, because Star Wars Restoration, because I just got my bounty hunter / combat medic up to level 80, and now I got to get the funds to get the proper armor and all of the armor attachments and everything, so that I can go and kill people.
Yeah. That happens to me a lot. I end up like leveling up and I don't have the proper like stuff to actually be that level. Usually happens on like the Odyssey games, but
I mean, it's fine if you're all the way up to level 70 and then you go back and start doing the level 10 quests.
Yeah,
because then you feel like a god. But you still got to kill things your level to get decent enough equipment.
Exactly.
Or buy it.
Right, yeah.
But which means that you got to do things to get enough money to
or
buy
spend
it.
real money, and I hate spending real money on like in-game props, so to speak.
That. Yeah, that's always annoying.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like loot boxes. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll take the free ones, but not the ones I gotta pay for. You know, like...
Exactly. So all dungeons and raids will be available. Dungeons will be available in normal difficulty, starting with Temple of the Jade Serpent at level 10, which will come in handy when you're level 70, with new ones unlocking throughout the leveling experience, and heroic difficulty becoming available at level 60, which you don't want to run until you got the proper equipment. Trust me. Raids will be available in Raid Finder and normal difficulty from the level 35 to 70 range, at which point heroic difficulty unlocks at level 70.
Heroic difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm not the best game player, so I always start every game at very easy.
Me too.
And
just so I can get
still
the
suck.
feel for
Like,
it. Wow.
like,
Okay.
There's some games I'm like, thank God I'm on very easy, because I would still there's sometimes I just cannot get past certain things, and it's like, okay, this is getting like really dumb, especially when you can't figure out what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah, and that's the worst part, because you go and you create this character and you start doing stuff to try and get in there and learn what you're doing. And I don't know what it is. But anyway, a big thank you to our guest, Nathan Johns of Tenebris Anima Comics. You can check out all things Tenebris Anima Comics on their Facebook page, with all guests on Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show. Pop Culture Kaboom follows and or likes them on Facebook. And as they post news about their projects, it is reposted to the Pop Culture Kaboom news feed. Be sure to, at very least, like and follow Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook to keep up with all of Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show's guests. Next week, Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show will not only have for you the latest news and information from the 7 pillars of pop culture entertainment, our special guest will be author Brad L. Johnson. We'll be talking with Brad L. Johnson about all his novels, starting with Tink, which is about Tinkerbell.
okay,
Racing the Dawn, Bits and Pieces, and The Comic Collector's Handbook, Volume 1. We'll also be getting details about his upcoming Netflix docuseries, his screenplay, and what is next for Brad L. Johnson with his writing career. Readers and authors, you will want to be a part of this conversation. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and please continue supporting Pop Culture Kaboom by listening to Pop Culture Kaboom's radio show live every Sunday night. And if you miss any part of the live show, check out Pop Culture Kaboom's podcast produced by 97 and Now Productions, and not only get this episode, but also previous episodes and some bonus material that will be coming up as well. Subscribe to Pop Culture Kaboom's podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Also, give it a like and a follow to Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook for everything you want, everything you need from Pop Culture Entertainment Daily, and subscribe to Pop Culture Kaboom's YouTube channel for video interviews from events we have and will be attending. On behalf of Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews, our guest Nathan Johns, KNBC, Rob, and I, thank you for your continued support. We'll talk with you again right here live next Sunday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time, anytime during the week on Facebook and via email. Until then, be safe, stay healthy, and peace out, Wabbits.